Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Shutterfly. If you're like us, you take a lot of pictures because you have a camera right in your hand all the time. How would you not take a lot of pictures? And we're taking all these pictures, more than we've ever taken in the history of the world.
What are you going to do with them all?
That's the thing. You used to get a solid picture, and then you'd look through them, and you could enjoy them. Now they're like back on your camera roll. You can't even find them. You don't want that. That's why the cool thing you need to do, and what I did, and I think it's pretty cool, is create a Shutterfly photo book.
Oh.
What I did, and you're going to enjoy this, Jimmy, because I haven't showed this to you yet, but took all of our pictures from being on tour this year.
Oh.
All live show pictures, us backstage, us on stage, doing all that stuff, and like some of the, just the venues and things, and made a little photo book out of that. Also, they have free 24-hour designer service as well. With their 24-hour designer service, a professional designer is going to lay out the book for you for free in just a day. Make something that means something with Shutterfly. Enjoy 40% off orders over $29 with promo code SMALLTOWN. See site for promotional details.
And now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/Wondery.
This week, in Edinburg, Virginia, a long and bubbling family feud resolves itself in a very unusual, very violent way, leaving everyone scratching their heads. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Yay, indeed, Jimmy. Yay, indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us again on another wild, crazy, outstandingly wonderful edition of Small Town Murder, where we have fun with terrible tragedy. That's what we're doing here.
Jesus.
Thank you, guys.
Right.
That's what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Well, not the actual tragedy. We're not like, hey, and then this, we're not making fun of the murder scene, but the things around it. And that's what we talk about.
It's all tragic.
It's all tragic. And a lot of this is just true. So much is tragic, Jimmy. It's fine. Thank you guys so much for your reviews this week. First of all, Apple Podcasts, the purple icon. Yeah. We really appreciate those. If you haven't yet, please give us 5 stars. Doesn't matter what you say. You can't fix us with words. No. It just helps drive us up the charts. So just say whatever you want. Thank you for that. Also, head to shutupandgivememurder.com for everything crime and sports and small town murder related.
Yes.
And listen to Crime and Sports, by the way, if you're not. This week, Dennis Rodman. Yeah. You all know who Dennis Rodman is. There's really not a whole lot of sports in that one.
Fucking absurd.
Just craziness. So you can hear that, and it'll give you an insight into what we do there. Shut Up and Give Me Murder. You can get all of your merchandise needs, and more importantly, your live show tickets.
Yes.
Next week, we are in California. Yeah. San Diego is sold out. out. Sorry, everybody.
Is it really?
Yeah, we looked on a thing. It's sold out. So sorry about that if you couldn't make it to San Diego. But L.A., I think there's some tickets left
Drive
in L.A.
up there.
So go to L.A. and see us the next night. It's on Saturday.
We're driving too.
Yeah, next weekend. What is it? What's the
next
date?
weekend.
What's the date? The
13th and 14th?
There you go.
Yeah.
I think so. Or 14th, if one of the two. Whatever the Friday and Saturday is when we'll be in San Diego, followed by
You know
LA.
where you can find
We're
that?
bad at this. Shut up and give me murder.com.
That's where the
We're
tickets
comedians, not salesmen. That's the problem. Also, we have a new thing, a voicemail that you guys can leave voicemails for us with questions and a Sahara Desert fart fact, weird festivals that go on in a town that you know about, questions, things like that. If you got that sounds terrible. Anything you want to do, you can leave at this voicemail. Please keep it kind of clean and don't be weird because Sarah listens to these, not us. So yeah, she don't be creepy. It's 602-759-0606. So you can leave and say weird things and whatever you want to do there.
Not too weird.
Not too weird though. Yeah. But also if you want to be one of our heroes, a producer who we're going to discuss with glowing terms every week like we do here, you can do that very, very easily by going to patreon.com/crimeandsports or heading over to PayPal. You can use our email address, crimeandsports@gmail.com. You can make a one-time donation there, and both of those links are readily available where, Jimmy?
Over there at shutupandgivememurder.com.
It's like a one-stop shop for wonderfulness.
It's very convenient.
Shut up and give me murder.
It's like an online bodega of all of our shit.
That's what it is. Yeah, there's stuff you're like, I haven't seen this in years. Oh, this is stale a little bit, but that's okay. You get it. You get it. And there's weed behind the counter also. It's very interesting. You could also buy dime bags, which you can't from us. Not from us, but we'll smoke one with you. There you go. So anyway, disclaimer quickly. This is a comedy show, so lighten up here. We're comedians. Yeah. This is what we do here. We're going to make jokes. Jokes are going to happen. We make jokes about small towns. We make jokes about stuff around a murder. We make jokes about a police force that'll let a murderer go free. It's right under their nose for 10 years. Things like that. We make fun of murderers. What we don't do, when we go out of our way not to do, is we try not to make fun of the victims or the victims' families because we're assholes, but we're not scumbags.
There you go.
That's how it works. And we have a good time with that, and we think you're going to have a good time too. If that sounds good to you, then buckle up because you're in for a ride. And if you think true crime and comedy should never, ever, ever go together, they just don't work, then this isn't for you. You're probably not going to like it. Take a hike. There's the door. Have a good one. Nice to meet you. Yeah. Thanks for giving us a shot. But, not going to work out. So you guys go. For everybody else, though, we're going to have a good time. It's time to stand there, wherever you are. Stand on top of your cubicle. Shout out your car window. Yell across the gym. Shout, shut up and give me murder. Let's do this.
All right.
Let's go on a trip, Jimmy.
I would love it.
Oh, let's go. We were in Colorado last week. We were staring at the Rockies. Yeah. It was nice.
I got an email today about a guy told me when I was growing up, I heard my dad used to go hunting, and the people that he went hunting with, their daughter was murdered horribly. And he goes, I was going to tell you the story and send you all the stuff to do the show.
Oh, no.
But then I heard last week's show, and her parents were very nice people. It was the Byers, Colorado episode.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
His dad knew the people.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's horrible.
That
but he said he heard details that he didn't know.
Really?
So there's that.
Well, hey, look at that.
Way to go.
What do you know?
Good work, James.
Court documents. It's a wonderful thing here.
He doesn't want to read that shit.
No, probably not.
Nobody does.
Sorry,
James does.
Sorry. Do I really, Jimmy?
I don't know if you want to.
I don't know if I want to, but I do. That's the important part. And I did this week.
All right.
So we're going on a trip.
Great.
All the way back across the country. We're crisscrossing now. We're going back and forth. We're going to Virginia.
Great.
Look at us going all the way to Virginia. Edinburg, Virginia. I hope it's Edinburg. It might be Edinburg. I'm not sure, and I really don't care. Okay. But either way, but we're going to call it Edinburg.
The Fringe Festival, Edinburg?
But not with the H on the end.
Got it.
It's just Berg, like B-U-R-G.
Okay.
So it's one of those there. It's in north central Virginia. You know how Virginia makes a big pan?
No.
It's got its pan. True. Okay. Virginia's like half of a camel.
Oh.
It's got like its head laying down like a panhandle down there, and then on the west side, and then it gets like a big lump on the east. And
okay, I know what it looks like.
Yeah, that
like
lump,
a little whale.
There you go. So that little lump there at the top, that's where this is. It's up near where Maryland and West Virginia connect.
Now I'm lost again.
Right above Virginia, the tip of Maryland to Virginia connect here. But I'm sure these people don't want to be associated with West Virginia at all. They're like, no, it's by we're by Maryland. You mean we're Maryland and West Virginia? West for what now? I've never heard of such a place. No, Maryland, and I don't know anything about West Virginia.
Connect to them.
There's just no. Here it's about 2.5 hours to Richmond, Virginia, which is the capital there. An hour and 40 minutes to Washington, D.C.
Okay.
So pretty close, actually, to that D.C. Baltimore area.
We're going to be there.
Which we are going to be there. We'll be in D.C. when? In October?
13th?
It's October, November? October.
It's October.
We'll be there in October. I think it's the 13th.
I think so, too.
Or
at the 9:30 Club.
At the 9:30 Club. We hear it's an amazing, historic, dope venue. So get your tickets to that also. Yeah, we'll keep plugging. If any place we're going to be comes up, we're going to plug it. So enjoy.
Tell y'all visit.
No more will come up for the rest of the show. So that's it. And 2 hours to Amherst, Virginia, which is episode 57, which is the last Virginia episode we did.
That was a long time ago.
Weird, right? Yeah, we did it right in the beginning when we were kind of doing all the states again, and then it got lost in the shuffle. And that was February 2018.
Good Lord.
So a long time ago, we weren't even in the studio then. No. That's how long ago that was. This is in Shenandoah County, zip code 22824, area code 540, 0.76 square miles. It's a little town up here. Motto of this town, quote, Salt of the Valley.
Yeah.
There you go. It's the Salt of the Valley. Or West Virginia can suck it, bitch. That's the other one, which is very aggressive, I feel. Too aggressive almost for a town motto.
Salt of what valley?
Of the Shenandoah Valley.
Oh, it's there, huh?
It's Shenandoah County. This is the Shenandoah Valley.
Got it.
They're very proud of this.
Very rural hillbilly shit, because that's what all the old country songs have Shenandoah in it somewhere.
Yeah, well, it's like Civil War songs will have Shenandoah, and like 1800s songs. 1800s like drinking ditties all had like Shenandoah in it. You know what I mean? Coming down from Shenandoah, or like
drinking ditties,
drinking whiskey while one guy drunkenly plays the piano and the only woman in the bar sits on it for some reason. You know what I'm talking about? Old West bars. So there was obviously Native Americans were here first. They think it was a group of Iroquois at the time, but they were said to have been slaughtered by another group in the later 17th century, leaving behind this land here. And the name of the whole deal has been attributed of Shenandoah County has been attributed to like also from back to the Indian tribes, and they also say it's George Washington, which is a strange thing. They think it was George Washington, possibly naming it in honor of a guy named Shenandoah, who was a chief in Oneida, New York, and he was an Indian chief, and he helped broker some peace and get some help for the American Revolutionary Forces from these Indians. They think maybe it was from him, or it was an older name. They're trying to track it down, basically, here. The colonial governor here formally purchased the whole valley from the Six Nations of the Iroquois with a treaty in 1744. So this was actually like a bought. Nobody was forced away from here, type of thing.
It was probably just bought at a really low price.
I'm sure it wasn't. Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't a really fair market value type thing. But there was no trail of tears from this location, is what I'm getting at. Which is that's nice that feels better. I think if you're living there. Oh no, families weren't torn from here and made to walk hundreds of miles and no.
I'm sure there was an air of threat in the barter. There was you either take this, or have you heard of the Trail of Tears?
Kind of like when we quote, bought parts of Mexico and shit. It's like we bought after wars and with wars, and it's complicated, but there was a lot of technicalities there. It's feel like it's the same thing. So this was apparently a good hunting ground, and the Iroquois hunted here forever. And by this time, though, there was all sorts of outside raids where natives would come in and attack and things like that. It was the 1700s, so this is wild. This is hunting grounds. This isn't like DC suburbs or anything. So the county was established officially in 1772, originally named Dunmore County for Virginia Governor John Murray, who was the 4th Earl of Dunmore.
Oh boy.
So then they were like, when we broke away from there, we're like, fuck the fourth Earl of whoever the shit. We don't care. We're giving our own stuff here.
How did a fucking something or other Earl get a job in government? How did they allow that?
Because the British controlled the...
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
We were owned by the... It's a colony at that point. So, they would just put their own governors in to control the crazy people who'd come over here, the way they look at it. Yeah.
I'm on board now.
Dunmore was their last royal governor and was forced from office during the American Revolution.
There you go. So that's why. Okay.
Yeah, that's what ended up happening.
I was seeing it post-revolution.
Yeah, no. Then,
why would
that
we
would
allow
be weird
that?
then. Yeah, now if your governor was an Earl of Dunmore put in by the English monarchy, you'd be like, why is he our governor? This makes no sense. So very strange. It was they renamed it in 1778 Shenandoah County, and it was settled in the late 1700s once it was renamed and the skirmishes had stopped and the British had left and everything like that. A lot of people, a lot of Germans and Swiss people came here. That seemed to be the culture of this for a while. Very good land to grow things. It's a very fertile area, the Shenandoah Valley here, for growing, for hunting, for all this type of thing. It's a big deal. A guy built a gun factory that made guns for the War of 1812 here. So there's that. Awesome. The 1870s here, apparently after the Civil War, this place picked up big time. Yeah. I think because of its proximity probably to the capital and everything else.
And then ground for hunting and growing shit.
Exactly.
If it's fertile and livable.
Yeah. Well, this seems like a place where it might be like a good, like a summer home or like a weekend retreat. Like rich people in New York go to the Hamptons or something. I feel like maybe rich people in Washington maybe went out to the country possibly or some shit like that back then.
See it.
Yeah, we don't know. It was
apple picking and shit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Stuff like that. They have a lot of Victorian homes there that are still remaining.
Really?
It's got a lot of historic homes. We'll talk about that in just a minute here. But yeah, there was the town itself of Edinburgh was originally named Shryock. Shryock. Shryok.
Ugh.
Not Shyrock, like I wanted to say, like it makes sense to say. But it was called that by Prince Bernard of Saxe-Weimar-Eisenach. Ugh. So they didn't give a shit what he named it, and they renamed it themselves.
Smart.
Here, the town site here, this is what the town's website says about the town. Really weak website. One of these sites where, they built it in 99, and we're like, great, leave it alone forever.
Nobody touch it.
Till the internet collapses. That's our website. It has a bad picture, and then it just says, nestled in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains in central Shenandoah County, Edinburgh exemplifies the quaint small town atmosphere of the Shenandoah Valley.
It's all spelled right.
That's
Fucking
it.
Leave it.
Leave it. That's what they did. Commas are in the right places. Perfect. So this place did not break 1,000 people in population. Pretty much stayed around 500 through the entire up until about 1975.
Wow.
Stayed around from 1860 all the way to there.
Kidding.
Just kind of stayed within 100 people. It kind of flip-flopped a little bit, and then finally started getting a little more people. Didn't break 1,000 till 2010.
No kidding.
So 1,289 people there right now, up 50% since 1990. So people have been going there, and it's a suburb. So it's not really it's an hour 40 from DC, so it's not really a commute, but it's still a place where these people.
That's a commute.
Well, these people might have second homes there and shit like that, where weekend homes. I see
what you're saying.
Yeah, this is what I mean.
Nobody's driving to DC for work.
No, not every day, but on the weekend we're going out to Shenandoah for the weekend, to Shenandoah County for the weekend here. More males than females here, which is kind of fits because the median age here is 32, which is young. So usually that's more males when it's a younger thing. Sure. The 25-year-old to 34-year-old demographic is off the charts high.
Really?
I don't know why. That's not college age. No. I don't know what's going on there. Also, though, everything else is a little bit low, and then 85 years old and over, super high.
Really?
Also, so I don't know what's happening. Everybody's 27 or 88. I don't know what's going on.
I think maybe it's like people moving in. They're like, Grandma's going to die soon. We should take care of her, and then maybe she'll give us the house.
Old people dying off and young people going there into the side. That's all I can think of. It's about average unmarried population, and divorce rate's a little bit high, actually, here. It's, maybe people who work in the DC in the any of the political sphere. Maybe there's a higher divorce rate or longer hours. I don't know how that works, but it's a little bit high here. Widowed rate's a little high, but there's some more old people, so that makes a lot of sense. Less single people with no children. A lot of single people with children, though.
Oh,
there's a lot of divorces.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind a couple of kids, you don't mind having to be quiet and making sure the headboard doesn't smack the wall, it's all right. You're good. You can find some people to get with. Race of this town. It's about 85.
Incognito bathroom blowies.
Yeah, if you're cool with that, then you're fine. This town's
if you like those, like, maybe you can get caught sex sessions, then do it.
If you like one of you having to interrupt sex because of a Lego wedged in your
ass
in your
crack?
spinal cord, then it's fine. So
of a child that you have no fucking parental responsibility over.
That's the good part. No responsibility. That's the word. So race of this town, 85% white. So pretty white for Virginia, DC. There's plenty of other races down there, but it's pretty white. 4.3% black. So a little bit well under the 12.3% national average. 0.3% Asian, so none of those there. 0.0% Native American. I guess that treaty worked. Jesus Christ.
It's sold. Goodbye.
All gone now. Wow. Not that that's good. It's wow. We have 8% Hispanic here, so it's pretty white. Yeah. It's a white town. About 50% religious, right on the normal line, and there's a lot of people from a lot of different places, so there is all sorts of different. It's 10% Lutheran, 10% Methodist, a little bit of Baptist, a little bit of Catholic, that sort of shit. 0.0% Jewish though.
Nothing.
And 0.0% Muslim.
Nothing.
So no, just all sorts of Christian faiths and little tiny bit of Mormon, like 1%. So which is also Christian. Same thing. So Shenandoah County here, the electorate, the elections, last presidential election, 26% voted Democrat, about 69% voted Republican, about 6% Independent. So this tends to skew a little bit more in the conservative area, and it's a kind of a. There's a lot of families. There's a lot of, it's a little more affluent.
There's some religion.
As we'll talk about. Well, this area is not really affluent, but the around that is. It's hard to explain here. Well, this area is a little bit trashier, because if you go like a half hour to the east, where it's like drivable to DC and Baltimore and shit like that, it's a whole other thing. It explodes. Median income's over $100,000. It's all that sort of thing. But here, unemployment rate's about 3%, which is low actually, but the income is low also. Normally it's about $58,000. Here it's $43,500. So it's a low income. All the low income demographics are all high.
That's the household.
That's the whole household. Yeah.
Wow.
They're all high. Like everybody, a lot of people make under $40,000 a year. It's almost 50% make under $40,000 a year. And all of the over $100,000 a year demographics, all those brackets are all very low. Okay. So people don't make a lot of money here. It's one of those things.
I'm familiar. Yeah,
definitely. Manufacturing is 24% of the jobs. It's usually 10% of the jobs. Construction is more than its usual share of the jobs. So it's that kind of economy. The healthcare jobs are about average, but not a lot of like white collar jobs, scientific jobs, professional and financial, things like that.
The shit's in the toilet.
It's in the toilet. Yeah. You better be able to make something or lift something and put it over there. Yeah. And then you can make a living, you can, I mean, it's a job, but I mean, it's harder to live here and, not and have some sort of white collar job. So overall cost of living here, 100 is regular, average, par. Here it's 95. Okay. So it's kind of in the ballpark. Everything's sort of normal. Housing is a 90. Okay. So not that crazy, but not that low either. Median home cost here is $181,800. Okay. So I mean, for the low income though, that's a little bit.
It's a struggle.
It's tough.
It's hard to own that.
Yeah, 29% of the houses here were built before 1939. 29%. Normally it's like 8%.
Yeah.
So
almost a third of them.
Almost a third are built. So these are a lot of old houses, a lot of Victorian. There's houses from the 1800s.
Jesus.
And then there's just old shitty houses too that just are still there for some reason. Right. So you get a mixture.
Because it costs too much to level it and build a new one.
That's pretty much what it is. And if we've convinced you to go take a look, we have for you the Edinburg, Virginia Real Estate Report. Your average 2-bedroom rental here is about $824, which is kind of below their market range for houses, which is good. I found a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house here. It's a shitbot, so I'm not going to lie to you. Dilapidated looking deck. It's frightening. It's a redo. 960 square feet. It's at auction though, $88,000.
I bet you can get it cheaper.
That's what I mean. So this place, if you need a place, I found another one here. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,248 square feet. Okay. It's set back in the trees. The picture of it on Zillow, not in a good way either. Not like, ooh, that's leafy back there. It looks like our...
What's some questionable shit going on?
What goes on in there is what it looks like.
Why do you need so much cover,
Why you need,
fuckers?
it's just it's poking out. It's very frightening. The roof, and in this little bit of house that you can see poking out through the trees, you can see the roof is not correct. It's messed up in some way. It's ominous. Tree people live there. $144,082 for this
seems too much.
This little gem. It looked like it was too much. Then I found a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, very nice, modern, 3,131 square feet. Very nice, clean house. This is like, if you wanted to have a nice whatever house, this is it for your family. $315,900. That's about what that's going to cost there. So it's pricey area.
Yeah.
It's not super pricey, but if you want something nice, all of the nice houses are pretty expensive there. The crappy houses are cheap.
If it needs work, you can afford it.
You can probably get it.
If it doesn't, you probably can't.
And maybe you'll know how to fix it because all the jobs here are in construction and shit. So that could be, maybe it's a good cycle. I'm not sure.
Very beneficial to you.
Things to do here, and the only thing to do, let's be honest here, is the 39th Edinburg Old Time Festival. OLE apostrophe.
Okay. Wait.
Yeah. You pick one. Either it's OL or it's OL with an apostrophe or it's old.
Right.
Which would
the apostrophe takes care of the D
or the E.
Right.
Either one of those.
What are you fuckers
That's
doing?
what the apostrophe's there for. It's in place of a letter. So
wow.
I don't know what they're doing.
Who the hell put that on the poster and didn't get it checked?
This is right off the website, brother. They put this up themselves.
How'd they spell time?
This is their own. No, the regular time. It's not a Y, thankfully, because I was expecting that. It's going to be held September 20th through the 22nd. So get your shit ready
right now.
Enjoy music, arts, crafts, parade, entertainment, and great food. Now, the activities. Yeah. Obviously, we're going to need activities. Pioneer breakfast. What? I don't know what that means. That means you eat in the woods.
You got to go shoot it?
No, you got to shoot it. You eat in the woods.
It's a squirrel.
You have to wipe your ass with a pine cone when you're done. I don't know what that means.
Is it squirrel between two pine stakes? What is that?
Do you get attacked by a band of Native Americans if you wander too far away from the camp? How does it work here?
Pioneer breakfast.
Do you get smallpox? What's the pioneer part of it? A bed race.
Yeah. What?
I have no idea what a bed race is.
This is already
Who can come quickest? Come on now, stick it in her. We're having a bed race. They couldn't call it anything more than that. So, would have been
kids here.
There's kids around. You know how it goes. They put it behind like just some dividers, like the porn in an old video store. A bed race. I don't know what that is.
Is that who could get into bed first?
Or do you drag a bed behind you like a tractor pull?
Or are they on wheels and you run those fuckers down the street?
Oh, maybe that's what it is. With someone in it?
Yeah. Oh, now you're talking.
Frightfully holding the sides with
bed knobs and broomsticks.
Big sleep cap on with a ball on the end. That would be hilarious.
That I want to see.
I would pay to watch that. I'm going to be very honest with you. I would buy that. A fun run, a children's festival, just a festival of children. These are all of our children now. Everyone line the children up. We're having a festival.
Line the children.
There they are. Here's all of them.
Jump in the air or something. Do a trick, fuckers.
Do something.
They're watching.
Calisthenics, kids. Let's go. So you have an old time, not an old time, not an ol apostrophe, an OLE time, but no apostrophe this time. Old time sing along.
Okay.
I don't know if we're going to sing about the Shenandoah Valley like we previously.
It's all drinking ditties.
A square dance.
All right.
Which I assume goes on during the old time sing along.
Yeah.
A beard contest.
Okay.
That's when you know you're in a place where you shouldn't be.
Right.
There's a beard contest.
There's a contest for who did it the best.
This isn't for me. This isn't for me.
That's every day if you've got a beard. If you have a beard, you're in a contest every fucking day.
You can just look at two beards and go, that beard's more beardier. It's not a...
That's more beard.
Yeah, it's not
you
a
win.
real contest. I don't know what the contest is.
Do they count the hair?
That sounds like an ESPY award.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like... What is it? Best baseball team? Well, who won the fucking World Series? We'll figure it out. Stupid awards. MVP. They already gave those out. The leagues themselves gave those out. What are we doing? Why is this an award show?
And until Pittsburgh's Kiesel shaves that fucking thing he's got on his face, there should be no beard contest. The man wears it. He puts a chin strap through it.
That's insane.
He wins.
Now, this is why I gave this extra time, this things to do, because there's so much here. A children's old-time sing-along, square dance, beard contest, duck race.
Okay.
Where they make ducks race, and they wander to the side a little bit.
I mean, there's a duck race where it's like rubber duckies that have numbers, and you pick those, and then fucking put it into something that flows.
A Civil War dance.
No.
What?
Why? And how?
What the shit does that mean? Does that mean that black people aren't allowed to dance with white people? What does that mean? Does that mean you dress in Civil War paraphernalia and you wear your beard from your beard contest? What does that mean?
Or
Do you bring a musket?
Force a woman to do it with you?
That's what I mean. Do you drag a woman off after you've clubbed her with your musket? How does this work?
Choice.
I don't understand this at all. An antique autos and motorcycles deal. That's cool.
I'll watch that.
Old timers ball games, but not old timers like
Catfish Hunter.
Yeah, not like
that.
Raleigh Fingers is going to come out and throw just our old people. Here's all of our kids. Now let's watch our old people play sports. What the hell is happening in this? This is the only thing to do in the whole town.
Old-timers baseball game. It's just people.
Literally the old people.
It's just your grandpa.
That's it. There's no.
He's never played in his life.
No one else is coming. Just Grandpa, you want to play? You're playing first base.
Grandpa, you ever played baseball? Hell no.
No. Well, get up at shortstop.
You're up.
I think you can catch a screaming grounder.
You're on deck, fucker. We want your house.
Wow. Yeah. Maybe you'll get beaned. We're coming for that house. Coming for that inheritance. An author's tent. A Civil War encampment.
Wait, no.
I guess they're just sitting around. It's like a reenactment, but not of a battle, just of them waiting to go into a battle. It's a camp. Here's some tents and a fire and some guys eating hardtack. And now and cleaning their muskets and writing letters. Dear Shirley.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking at. Okay.
That sounds awful.
The museum exhibit, a Civil War, hay wagon rides, antique taxi rides, carriage rides, apple butter boiling.
Oh.
In case you ever wanted to do that. Basket weaving, antique tractor show, and much more. How much more could you have? That's enough.
How much in the past are you living?
Holy shit. Well,
they're celebrating everything that's happened.
Well, not quite yet, but now they have, because also they've added to this an old-time sock hop as well.
Oh,
a special Saturday night dance featuring vintage music by the Silver Tone Swing Band. Whoever's left alive after the old-timers baseball game comes over to here.
If it's got silver in the name of the band, you know it's not good.
They say
it's not positive.
It's terrible.
It's all old shit.
It's bad. There's a dance demonstration. Learn the stroll. Okay. Yeah. Couple with the best 50s outfits will be crowned king and queen of the sock hop. You don't want to be the loser in that competition. Then you're just dressed like an idiot.
Then you got to drag that bitch in the poodle skirt home.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Live swing band music all night till 9:30. Till the break of 9:30. It doesn't say at the time, but I assume it's till 9:30. And this festival received the Edinburg Heritage Foundation's Mary Ann Williamson Award, which celebrated it means that they're, I don't know what that means exactly. It's the fourth recipient of the award. It seems to be things that are good in Edinburg. They give that award to. I'm not sure. Crime rate in this town.
What do you want to bet John Travolta and Uma Thurman win that contest every year?
Oh, every single year.
This dick showed up again.
Oh, here he is, fucking grooving. Jesus Christ. Hide the
heroin.
Hide the masseuses. Anyone? And is there any males under 25 who know how to give a massage? Run! Now!
John, I heard there was a kids festival.
Unless you're into that, then stay.
I heard there was a kids festival.
I heard there was a festival. Hey. So property crime is about 40% under the national average, so pretty safe there. And violent crime, murder, rape, robbery, and of course assault, don't forget it, please. The Mount Rushmore of crime is about 1/3 under the national average also. So a lot of safe things going on here. This is small town USA here from what we've described, as you can tell. Kind of a southern small
This
town.
this car is a 57 Chevy.
This is
ridiculous.
it's a little rusty, but it's a 57 Chevy. Smoke comes out when you first step on the gas.
And the Beach Boys screaming through the speakers.
Oh, God, 409 only. That's it.
On loop.
On loop.
Once in a while, they throw in that Barbara Ann.
Help me, Rhonda, once in a while. Barbara Ann. So
that's them?
Yeah, that's them.
All right.
That's them. Let's talk about a murder, shall we?
All right.
Because we have one. Damn it.
Great.
That's it. Yeah, we talked about the sound. Have a good one.
See you around.
God, that'd be great.
Wouldn't it?
River Talk with Jimmy and James. Want that
Talk
so
about
bad.
a town with a river that runs through it, and we just go home.
We could have talked about that festival for
forever.
45 minutes.
I want to fucking I want to be there narrating it.
I had so much to say that I was like, we can't do it. We can't. There's not enough time.
I want to Joe Buck and Troy Aikman it with you.
So do I. So bad. Let's talk about a man first. Yeah. Let's talk about, to use the term loosely, a gentleman.
Yes.
Who's not much of a gentleman. Let's talk about William Joseph Burns.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like an upstanding
Bill Burns.
Yeah. Bill Joe Burns. Here. William Joseph Burns. Now, he's born in April of 1966.
Yeah.
Now, he has a lot of trouble from the beginning. He's a troubled soul, we'll say. And he bounces around a lot. He's in Maryland for a while, and he's in West Virginia. He's in Virginia. Yeah. And this is this area where, like I said, all these states all come together. So if you move 10 miles that way, you're in West Virginia, and then you move 20 miles over there, and now you move to Maryland, and you move. So it's weird. Like, we live out west, and like to move to another state's a giant thing.
Oh, it's a thing.
There, it's like to move to another state's not a big thing because you're only moving 20 miles here or 20 miles there. Yeah. It's just a pain in the ass to change your
They got to be pissed at
car registration.
Jersey, New York, and Connecticut being the tri-state area.
Yeah.
They got to be furious.
Yeah, they're right.
Yeah, your fucking mind. We're right here.
We're all butted up against. I'm sure that's probably the tri-state area there or something. I have no idea. Everybody's got their own tri-state area.
There's
here.
A tri-state Ford dealers commercial for sure.
For every single tri-state there is. For Idaho, Montana, Wyoming. It's a tri-state. Yeah. Whatever, Utah.
And then Tennessee's all, we're the Oct State.
Yeah. Jesus. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely, these people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked, God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
This show, Small Town Murder, is brought to you by BetterHelp. Get yourself some therapy, everybody. Honestly, here. We often hear about, red flags that you should avoid. Hey, that's a lot of a thing. It's become a real phrase now, real cliche. But why don't you focus also, you look at like green flags in friends and partners. Look for good things as well. Right. And maybe you're not sure what that looks like, though. Therapy can help you figure that out. What are positive things? What are the green flags? And then you can practice them in your relationship. It's absolutely a fact. And so, honestly, we absolutely are huge advocates for this. It really, really helps. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable. It's convenient. They serve over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists, wide ranges of specialties there. Here's the coolest part. You're not getting along with your therapist, you're just not feeling it, you can switch at any time, no extra charge.
Wow.
The thing is, they want you to get help. That's it. And you can do it with BetterHelp. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/smalltownmurder today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Noom. Has Noom helped you? I believe it has.
Oh, that's got an app. You can do tracking. It's terrific.
It does. Noom builds personal plans that can meet individual needs. That's the thing. Takes into account any dietary restrictions, medical issues, other personal needs. That helps build a plan that works for you. And yes, so I know that you've had your own personalized program here that you've been working on. And
it's weight loss This is weight loss results that last. They stick around because you get yourself into a lifestyle change. That's what matters.
That's mainly it. You can't just say, I'm going to cut that out for a month and then go back. That's not what it is. So I'm glad it's helping you. That's great. And it really does. I like the psychology and biology-based approach here. Yeah. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain, but it also takes into account your unique biological factors, Jimmy. All of your multitude flora and fauna that goes on inside of you there. Sure. Yeah. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com, Noom.com here. Based on 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum starting BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Daily Harvest.
DailyHarvest.com.
Oh, you know it, Jimmy. They're so good. And all this summer, you do all the barbecuing and the eating out. And that's the thing. You go out of town, we'll go on tour, and we'll go, and you end up eating out and eat a lot of stuff.
Feel like an animal.
You feel like an animal, but now you want to get back to the habit of eating what's good for you and get back to being settled. The summer's over, everything like that. But finding time to look for recipes, you got to go to the grocery store and meal prep and all this. It's a lot.
It's
for people with a life and a job and a family and that sort of thing. That's what's amazing about Daily Harvest. Daily Harvest makes it easier than ever to get back into the habit of eating more fruits and vegetables with thoughtfully sourced, chef-crafted foods that can be prepared in less than 5 minutes. Fill your box with more than 65 different options like ready-to-blend smoothies, hearty soups, and savory harvest bowls. Each Daily Harvest cup takes one step to prepare with room for customization as well. All of Daily Harvest ingredients are sourced and selected for maximum nourishment and peak season flavor, and they're really good. They're so good.
The bowls are amazing.
There's like no time. That's what's so great about it.
So quick.
They take no time, and you're like, this is delicious. How did this not take any time at all? How is this so easy for me? Seriously, if you want to start eating a little bit healthier again, get back in the groove, you really need to do this. It makes it so much easier. Daily Harvest. Do it right now. Go to dailyharvest.com, enter promo code SmallTownMurder to get $25 off your first box. Can't beat that. That's promo code SmallTownMurder for $25 off your first box at dailyharvest.com. That's dailyharvest.com.
And now back to the show.
William Joseph Burns, born in April of 1966. He's in trouble a lot. He has problems. He's just one of these guys. He's a drinker, so that's a problem right away. Yeah. We've had so many people who that's a lot of their crime issues come from alcohol.
Yeah, it's a catalyst for terrible behavior.
It's a catalyst for terrible, especially if you're a person who doesn't control it.
Right.
If you're a person that can drink and then go home and be fine and then go to work the next day and then go out on Friday night and drink, hey, great, more power to you.
Thank you very much.
Some people, it's just all the time, and he's one of these guys that gets into crime young and early and has a lot of juvenile issues, and then by 1987, he begins his really just a lot of arrests over a 10-year period.
It's unwinding.
And it's shit that he's just a dirtbag. He's breaking in. Well, let's go over the list here. I have a list of his greatest hits. January of 1987. So he's only 20 years old at this point, not even 21 years old. He is arrested for burglary and stealing in daylight.
What?
I don't know.
You got to do that after dark, son.
Yeah, I guess broad daylight.
Don't you know?
It's more of a, like, in broad fucking daylight he just did that. No, that's extra. I'm sorry. Horseshit. You didn't even, how could you think you were going to...
Brazen motherfucker.
The balls on you to think you were going to get away with that in broad daylight. No, that's extra. Charge him with an extra. Write that down. It's extra.
What time of day?
Yeah.
Broad daylight.
Noon? Shit, no. So that's extra.
That's amazing.
And also felony theft he's charged with. So right away, that's a felony. A fresh felony at 20. That's not wonderful. That's January 87. So maybe he's learned his lesson.
Yeah.
Let's find out. The whole year of 87 goes by. Things are fine until December of 87 when he's arrested again. This is worse than stealing in daylight. This is more brazen. Misdemeanor battery, which is okay. That happens. Who knows what the circumstances were, but also a third degree sexual offense.
Okay.
I don't know what that is. It's hard to find any information on a crime, a misdemeanor or something from 1987 in Virginia. But
the first one was battery. Is that what you said?
Misdemeanor battery.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he groped somebody, grabbed somebody. That's usually
connotation to it.
Yeah, sexual offense. I don't know if he whipped his cock out and smacked somebody with it, or like grabbed somebody's ass, or we don't know what he did. But it's a sexual offense, and he's arrested for it anyway. So March 31st, 1990. So that's 3 years go by.
Yeah.
He is arrested for battery and resisting arrest.
Okay.
So again, it's now we're getting a little bit of violence in here, at least battery. July 4th of July. Look at this.
Yeah,
He's
I understand.
Celebrating. You got to celebrate the independence of your country with crime. That's what you do. You break and enter a storefront on the 4th of July.
Okay.
That's what he gets.
Celebrate your freedom by giving it up.
Celebrate your freedom by, what's more of an act of freedom than breaking into some place and stealing shit that's not yours? That's freedom. Now that's freedom. What's more free than that?
What's the root word of freedom, sir?
It's
free.
Free.
This shit's free.
All free.
Right.
Yeah, I broke the window, but shit was free after that. Nobody asked me to pay for it. So my idea, that's free. So breaking and entering on a storefront. So that's a pretty brazen to break into like an actual place of business and steal. That's a definite
on the 4th of July.
On the 4th of July.
Good
So
Lord,
weird.
man.
The fireworks are going. They'll never hear the window breaking. That's what I feel like it was. It's one of those things like The Godfather 2.
Right.
You got to shoot him while the fireworks are going on. November 1st, 1991, he's arrested for battery. So more battery. April 29th, 1992, he's really consistent. Yeah. I'll give him that. That's one thing.
Years.
Yes, every year or so, he checks in.
Yeah.
Some of these guys, they go off the reservation for a couple of years. You don't know where they are.
Do a great life, and then they're like, I can't take
job for a while. This guy's like, no, I'm going to check in with the police force.
I'm a piece of shit. I'm going to stay it.
Is he still the captain? I'll tell you what. Take me in.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my arms behind my back, and we'll talk about it. So April 29th, 1992, he is arrested for breaking and entering on a storefront. Again, destroying property valued at $300 or less. That is 2 counts of that. And disorderly conduct in a public place. I don't know if all of those go together or what. Or if he, at different points in the night, just was disorderly by breaking things valued at $300 or less and then broke into a store, or if he broke into the store, stole shit valued at $300 or less and then broke it in a disorderly way. I'm not positive. Damn it. Fuck. So I really love to understand what happens, as you know, from that joke I have.
The whole thing's gotta come tying together.
It does.
Or else you're frustrated.
Oh, it drives me nuts when I see those charges.
Is this an all-day event? Did he just do shit all day?
Was this all at once?
That's a lot to do at once.
And it really is. So May 8th, 1992, so this is, a week and a half later, not even, he's arrested for destroying property valued at $300 or less.
God, Jesus.
So then a few months later, September 7th, 1992, he's arrested for battery. And then September 21st, 1992, he's really picking up the pace here. I feel like his drinking is escalating or something. He's arrested for battery and disorderly conduct in a public place.
Okay, he is a destructive drunk.
He gets drunk and hits things and breaks things and has dumb ideas. He's like, I'm going to go break in there and take something.
This is an early 20s man who is just angry as fuck.
Angry, out of control, and whatever. So that's September 21st. October 1992, he is charged with reckless endangerment and assault. And that's a different thing than battery.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about jail time, shit like that.
Yeah.
So he is eventually found not guilty of reckless endangerment on this one, but he is found guilty of assault later on.
Okay.
And I think he ends up going to jail for this as well, as we'll talk about. November 22nd, 1992, which is probably when he would be out on bail, I would think, something like that. He's arrested for breaking and entering on a storefront twice. 2 counts
My
of that.
God.
And break in with intent to commit a felony at this point.
Okay.
So you tie that in with the fact that you just got arrested for assault
just a little bit
and
ago.
then you're putting all this in together, you're going to end up with jail time if you're a shithead like him with a long record of escalating record
same
of
shit.
battery breaking, and then he's escalated it to this point, intent to commit a felony and assault. So now he's shitty. Now he's done here. So I would think he's probably going to be in jail for a while, and I think that because you don't hear from him again in the police reports from 1992 to 1997.
5 years.
So it's late 1992, early 1997.
Okay, so 4.5.
So 3,
It's very rare that a guy that does all of that just cleans it up.
That to me feels like jail for a couple years, parole for another year and a half or something, or probation, or that's what that feels like to me. Like, so he kind of kept a little bit clean, probably, I'm sure. Cut his drinking down, probably in jail, came out. They probably made him do alcohol programs or something, and he, re-immersed himself into society. Yeah. And then that never sticks, obviously.
Never.
It's sometimes.
I mean, but it's
once
so
in a
rare
while.
that I think never's an appropriate word.
I mean, I know lots of people who have been in bad shape and kicked out of that shit and ended
Lots?
A lot, yeah. I know a lot of people who are disasters.
When I know
we're
a lot
in
that
fucking
are
showbiz, Jimmy. We've known how many comedians have you known who have literally been half dead and now they're fine?
I don't know that they're fine.
They're alive and not doing the same shit they're doing before. I mean, good God.
They're doing other things, supplementing for that. You know what I mean?
True.
But it's going to break.
Yeah, eventually.
That's going to change because that shit's boring.
I have known those people, but they always. I know people are going to give a shit for that, but there's
Greg Fitzsimmons who had.
He just was like
horrible problems.
Yeah, he was a violent. He said he was a violent person.
He was a terrible person.
He was a terrible alcoholic. No, don't say he was a terrible. Now he's a great guy.
No, that's
when
what
he
I mean.
was drinking.
Yes,
and
coking.
So totally nice man. Yeah,
he wrote a book about it. So I'm not saying
and he's the type
crazy,
of guy where he just said, "I'm not doing this anymore," and just didn't do it and hasn't done shit in 25 years, and he's fine.
Yeah.
He will eat a weed cookie. I'll tell you that.
I'm sure he will.
Trust me, because I gave him one, and then he forgot his set. It was hilarious. I opened for him.
You sabotaged Greg Fitzsimmons.
No, I was talking about it, and he was like, "Oh, hey, cookies? Yeah, that sounds good." And so the next day, I just brought him one, and I was like, "Brought you a cookie," and then so he ate it before the show for some reason.
It looks delicious.
He thought it would go. Yeah. He thought it would go away.
Yeah.
And then he said,
"Dad, I'm on vacation."
It didn't kick in until he said, "I'm on stage and I'm up there for about 10 minutes," and I didn't remember a goddamn thing I had to say. My mouth was dry. I didn't know where I was,
and I'm contractually obligated to be up here for an hour.
He got off and he goes, "Did any of that make sense?" That's what he asked me. I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "That cookie kicked in hard, real hard. I only ate half of it, but it really." Sorry to blow up Greg Fitzsimmons' spot, but what a nice man. And
David Tell, horrible alcoholic, terrible things in his life.
Yeah, it happens.
Kicked it and he's great.
And it happens. I mean, people do, and then I know people in regular life who've done it too. And sometimes it's through a program, sometimes it's on their own. Yeah. Every study they do, basically anything you could do has about a 5% chance of working.
Okay.
Literally.
That makes sense. About 5% of the people that I know that have had problems are doing okay.
Well, no, whatever program, like if you do NA or Alcoholics Anonymous, when they don't keep records, but when they actually did like a study on it, a formal study, there's about 5% is their effectiveness rate. So that's what the court's mandating people to go do something that's 5% effective.
95% failure. Ridiculous.
It has the same exact rate of success as doing nothing, as literally on your own. Now,
figuring it out
people will go, "Hey, my uncle went," and I understand. Some people it works great for, and it fits them. But whatever thing makes you stop is what you do with substances.
It's because you're chemical and
everybody's different.
Right.
Everybody's
We're
different.
all individuals.
There is no standard. This is how you quit this, and then you're fine. It doesn't work like that for every person. Is what I'm getting at here. So who knows? Has nothing to do with any of this, and I'm sure I just pissed people off for no reason.
And we just took a long way to go to make a bunch of people mad.
Yeah. So that's what we do here, everybody.
Sing along a meandering walk to piss off everybody.
But, it's true, though. And I'm trying to figure, because I think this guy is one of these guys.
Yeah.
I think he's one of these guys that has a problem from an early age, and I think he tries to start and stop with it, and he probably, I got to get my shit together, and he gets a job, and probably has a job for 3 months and holds it together, and then he goes off the reservation again, and he's, breaking and entering in broad daylight.
Right.
One of those deals. So November 22nd, 1990, that was the one we did already. So then April 17th, 1997.
Okay.
So, a few years later, he's arrested for second-degree assault and disorderly in a public place.
Okay.
That sounds like our guy again.
Yeah.
That's William Joseph Burns that we know.
Right back to it.
That we've come to know and admire here. So, it brings us all the way up to September 20th, 1998.
Okay.
So this is give you the kind of an overview here. On September 20th, 1998, he is drinking like a monster at his trailer in Baker, West Virginia.
Yeah.
So right away, life is not going well.
No.
He's getting hammered as shit during the daytime hours, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like 2 p.m. He is broad daylight. Broad daylight.
Yeah.
He's hammered in his trailer at Baker, West Virginia. So right away, life is not wonderful. He lives there with his wife, this is his wife's name, Penny Marlene Cooley Burns.
Oh, Penny.
Penny Marlene Cooley Burns. I don't know.
Jesus.
Wow.
Burns is his last name.
Burns
so she
is
hyphenated it.
Penny Marlene Cooley.
Yeah.
That's who he married.
I like that Penny Marlene is very, very strong, proud woman. I'm going to hyphenate this one.
Yeah. Cooley Burns. Penny Marlene
You
Cooley
ain't doing
Burns.
none of this without me.
I need to keep the Cooley in there. So...
Very proud of my Cooley roots.
Yeah, so he's there. He lives with old Cooley Burns, Penny Marlene Cooley, and she has 2 sons. They're not his kids, but they live there as well.
The Coolies.
The Cooley family. The Cooleys and the Burnses have...
The Cooley boys.
The Cooley boys. This is Conrad Cooley and Cooter Cooley.
Of course it's Cooter.
Cooter Cooley.
Oh,
boy. They live here all in this trailer in Baker, West Virginia. Mm-hmm. Right away, this sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Fucking not good. This just does not sound good. It feels sticky.
Yeah.
I feel it's too humid in there. I just know it's humid in there. I feel it.
Living in a trailer with your wife and somebody else's kids.
They don't have good air conditioning.
No.
I know it. It's just not great.
And he's drinking in the afternoon hard.
Oh, life is good, Jimmy. Life is great.
This is a nice day. It's a real good day.
Jesus. Apparently, he was trying to make some home repairs around the trailer. And apparently he's not good at it, or he's hammered.
Yeah.
You know what I find? If you're really drunk, you're not as good at things you normally are good at.
Especially not rivets.
Yeah. It's pretty, how they really driving, you can say that. Like, people drive every day. They drive great. Give them 10 beers. They don't drive so well anymore. It's weird.
It's a little more difficult.
They make laws about it and everything. It's super crazy. So I feel like it's the same for home construction, no?
Tend to need a much wider lane.
That's all. Now, if they had drunk, there's big theories about that. A drunk lane with bumpers on it. So apparently here, he's pissed off about this. He's messing up home repairs, and he's becoming, over the course of the day, angrier and angrier with Penny because he's bad at home repairs.
It's her fault.
It's her fault.
Yeah.
Every time he messes something up, he starts yelling at her for something else.
You're only taking my last name alone. I could fix this fucking toilet.
It's because your goddamn kids keep pissing all over the toilet seat. That's why. To Cooter, you son of a bitch. I told you so many fucking times not to piss on that dang boy, if I could catch you.
Your 8-year-old shits like an adult. This toilet's so backed up.
Fuck, he leaves the damn skid marks like he dropped it from a goddamn airplane. Gotta be kidding me. All in the toilet. Big old skid mark on there. It's thick. You can flush it 5-6 times. It just scrapes off little layers, but you can still see it. What's he eating?
God damn it, boy, this toilet's plastic.
What are you feeding that boy? Porcelain. What the hell you think this is? Buckingham Palace? Jesus Christ.
Stop letting him eat that Pioneer breakfast.
Don't let him do it. Jesus. This we think this is Buckenberg Palace? He wouldn't get it right. What's wrong with me?
There's no way he knows ham.
No. Oh, think you're at Disneyland, boy? So, he apparently just becoming ragefully at this poor woman who's done nothing wrong. So literally, she's done nothing wrong.
No.
She has nothing to do with the home repairs.
Right.
He's poor at what he's trying to do, and he's angry at her for it. So apparently, he has assaulted her several times in the past.
Yeah.
This is a normal thing. If he's doing all this assaulting on the outside, imagine when he's doing it at home behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Think about that. All these public place batteries
right.
that he's doing. What's happening when he's drinking at home and there's no cops or anybody to keep him in line? So he's abused his wife on several occasions. So she says, I think I've seen this this play before, and I'm going to get the fuck out of here because I'm going to take off right now because he's just going to be pissed off more and more and drink more and more. By the end of the night, he's going to beat me up. So have a good one. Smart. She leaves. She's concerned with her safety, obviously.
Packs up Conrad and Cooter.
She packs up Connie and Cooter in the car, and Connie and Cooter in the El Camino, and they take off.
Okay.
So she had left him once before when she was drinking. At another time, she's left him before. So this is like her new. She's discovered this is the best thing to do.
Right.
When he's drinking and he's getting angry, I get out of here.
There's a final time sometimes.
Well, that's
you know
the problem.
I mean?
The best thing to do is not to be with this guy.
Right. If you got to leave once, maybe the best move is not to come the fuck back.
We've talked a lot about this cycle of feeling trapped, and
horrible.
It's a terrible, horrible thing. And I think she's trapped in this cycle, especially because obviously I don't think they have a lot of money. If he is angry at his inability to repair his trailer properly.
And he's drinking in the afternoon.
And he's
I don't know, September 20th, what day of the week this is. There's a 5 out of 7 chance that it's a fucking weekday.
It probably is, as a matter of fact. So that's what I mean. I feel bad for Penny because obviously, she's obviously had another relationship with her 2 boys, and we don't know the resolution of that
dissolved.
But now this is a terrible situation, especially with your kids and everything like that. So she does leave the residence. She had left once before, but unfortunately she went back. The first time she left, she went to her mother's house, which is in Edinburg, Virginia, and she stayed there for a few days and then came home. Like, I'll go here, let him cool off, and come home, which is, obviously he'll never drink again, clearly. I'm sure he's fine now. So she leaves her home here on the 20th, and she doesn't go to her mother's house this time, though.
No.
On September 20th. This time she changes her mind, and she takes a different route, completely different, and she ends up going to her friend's house instead.
What's his name?
No, it's a couple.
Okay, all right.
It's a couple.
Okay.
She's going for solace and refuge, not for whatever. She just wants away from him and somewhere safe.
I can just see the unfolding of the story.
Oh, with the,
she
not
pops
that.
over to another dude's house when she's fighting with him.
When he's drunk and angry.
That ain't going to help.
It's not going to go well, probably, when he...
But a couple's house, that's a smart move, too.
Yeah, she goes there for safety and protection, and, and probably just she needs to, I'm sure, unload a little bit of this whole thing. She goes to her friends to be friends.
People that don't understand.
Yeah, she gets Amanda and Leonard Funkhauser, which is like...
they're the cool people.
Funkhauser, like on Curb Your Enthusiasm, which makes me so happy to hear that.
So rad in town
name.
over at their house.
Oh, yeah.
They have the most fun.
Lenny Funkhauser has this huge karaoke machine, and it's got all the tracks loaded. It's one of those kind of houses. Yeah, they're having a ball. Blender drinks all the time.
Get over here. Get over here and sing Love Shack with me.
They have like a movie theater popcorn machine. It's great. Then you sing Love Shack. It's fantastic. Now, on the way over to their house, Penny stops. I don't know why she stops so many times, but she stops multiple different times to call her mother. I don't know if she couldn't get a hold of her mother and then she had to keep trying or what it was, but she wanted to get a hold of her mother to tell her mother where she was going. Because she didn't want her mother to be concerned.
Right.
Because I think this guy, I think everyone's a little afraid of him.
I am.
And that's what I mean. And I think if the mother called there and Penny's not there, I think maybe the mother would have gotten scared a little bit. So she says that she tells her mother that she left him. She left old Bill Burns here, and she's going to be staying over with the Funkhausers. And, so if you need me, I'll be over there. I'm safe. Don't worry about me. Also, let her know if Burns comes to your house, don't fucking let him in.
Billy B shows up.
He's pissed off. He's drunk, and don't let him in because he's just going to be trouble for you. And
it's broad daylight. Don't open the door.
You know how he is about broad daylight. He's just sitting there waiting for the sun to come up like a reverse vampire or werewolf, sitting there just like, come on, there it is.
He can't wait.
Drool coming there it is. Starts growing a beard.
Pops a beer to celebrate.
Goes out on the prowl. So, but Penny is never able to reach her mother at all. And so she calls several times, can't get a hold of her mother. And then even after she arrives at the Funkhauser's house, she calls her mother again, and she still can't get a hold of her mother. She's like, God damn it. She hadn't talked to her mother in a couple days, so she didn't know what her mother's plans were, but she just was pissed off that she couldn't tell her mother where she was. She wanted to let her know. I think she also wanted to be like, I did it, I left type of thing. That's what I'm kind of gleaning from this. Like
celebratory phone call.
No, I don't know if celebratory, but kind of like, I'm sure the mother would be relieved.
Yeah, and be proud of her.
Yeah, you're gone, you're going to your friend's house, good. She'll probably sleep better that night, knowing that she's at the Funkhauser's house. So
how bad do you want to just call it the Funk House?
Funk House, baby.
Heading on over to the Funky House. We're going to play Funky Town. We're going to sing it. We're going to karaoke.
We're rock it. Play some Earth, Wind, and Fire right now. Do you remember? Hey,
we're going to funk it up tonight.
It's going to be funky, baby. Funky at the Funk Houses. So around midnight of this night, now Penny's still not been able to reach her mother, nothing like that. Around midnight, Burns shows up at the Funkhauser's house.
Really?
Yeah. Can you imagine this scene showing up? Drunk and screaming in the front yard, and he's bringing the trailer to the neighborhood over here, to the Funk House. Yeah,
She's in there singing "Picture" with Mr. Lenny.
Yeah, he knocks on the door, and apparently he is semi together enough. He's not raging and raving and throwing things and acting like a maniac on the front lawn. He comes up around midnight. Who knows if he's sobered up by now or whatever? Comes up and says, I'd like to talk to Penny, and they all kind of stay by. Everybody's kind of like, whatever. And he asks Penny to come home with him, and he's trying to be nice and all this. And she says, no, I'm not fucking going home with you. It's going to happen again and again and again and again. And I'm done. Yeah. Have a good one, asshole. And that's that. Yeah. She closes the door. She goes back inside. Good for you, Penny. God damn it. Sweet. Good job. So Burns stands out there for a minute, and what are you going to do after a while? You can either kick the door down and drag her away by the hair, which is probably not a smart move, or you can leave. Those are your options. So he leaves, which good job on your part as well.
Move,
That's the correct move. Whatever you've done in the past, terrible and all, I'm glad you're making a better decision this time, not to try to kick the door down or set the house on fire. And this is where some of our stories would turn, and he went to the gas station and got
filled up a gas can
and came back and lit the house on fire from the outside, killing 5 small children. That would be
sitting
normal.
there with a gun waiting for people to come out. Come out, I fucking dare you.
Sitting in his car, just sitting out the driver's side window with the rifle aimed at him, waiting to pick them off as they come, while an old person who lives nearby jots down his license plate number to catch him. That's our normal show. So Jesus Christ. So he leaves, and then he comes back an hour later.
Okay.
That would be a red flag.
Yeah.
You came at midnight, and I said no.
And now it's 1 a.m.
Night's over.
Right.
I know how you operate. You're all about broad daylight.
It's the next day now.
It's out of character now. This is getting weird. He remains out. He comes back, and they won't let him in this time. She says, go away. I already said I'm not coming home. Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
So he says, okay, but he doesn't go home. He instead just stays in his car.
In the driveway?
In the driveway from 1 o'clock in the morning.
Till sunrise.
For the remainder.
Oh,
he's waiting for the morning.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
He needs daylight.
He can't kick the door in until he's got the strength. He doesn't break and enter until broad daylight.
He's solar. He's a solar-operated drunk.
He's a solar-operated. That's how it works. He's fueled by alcohol and solar power. He's got to have both, I feel like. It's one of those things.
He's very green.
He's one of those. It's like when you have to mix, like in a dirt bike or whatever it is, you have to mix the fuel.
That's what
it is with him. I feel like it's the same thing.
It's a two-stroke.
Yeah. And then he goes out and he has photosynthesis. Like the alcohol helps the photosynthesis.
Good Lord.
That solar powers him. So, Jesus Christ. So
solar powered criminal.
It's just amazing. We've never had a solar powered criminal before. It's pretty impressive. Who could tell? So he sleeps in the car. Or I hope he sleeps in the car. I hope he didn't just sit there awake staring at the house, because that's
sitting on the hood just drinking a 30-pack.
just rubbing his crotch. Not have his dick out.
No,
just rubbing over his pants.
Yeah.
Just staring at it angrily, rubbing over his pants.
He's got a nut on either side of the seam, just rubbing down the center.
Yeah, that's right. It's more of a self-soothing thing, like a kid sucks his thumb than it is anything else. It's not sexual. That's the thing you got to understand.
It's like being patted on the back by your mom as a kid.
That's all. It's soothing. Very soothing. So, he's out there. Now, the Funkhausers, they go to leave for work the next morning like normal people, and they go to leave, and they see this guy is outside their house still, and they didn't want to leave Penny alone inside because they think that's what he was waiting for. He's probably waiting for us to leave, and then he can go sweet talk her or threaten her, and she'll end up back at the house by 2:00 this afternoon, and that's that. So they go, we don't want to leave her alone for fear of her safety. So Leonard Funkhauser takes Penny to work with him. Mm-hmm. So now he's got a tag along.
He's got a ward.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Hi, how you doing? Yeah, how you doing? How was your weekend?
She's a battered
Great.
woman. I just take her with me.
Battered wife that we
not my wife. God, no. Jesus,
I haven't touched my wife. She's great. Amanda's at home. She's doing fine.
She's got a solar-powered assailant.
She lives in a trailer. It's really awful. He can't repair anything, and he can only do crimes during the day. It's a long story. It's a lot. We didn't bring Cooter with us, though. Who's Cooter? Never mind. Okay.
Conrad. Shit, Christ. I have no idea.
Penny, grab a chair. Go to my cubicle. So that
Penny, file this shit.
File something, please. This is uncomfortable. So they're doing this here. He takes her to work with him. Jesus Christ. So then Leonard says that Penny ends up, at his suggestion, Penny goes on a commercial truck run to Ohio and Pennsylvania with a friend of Leonard's. This is weird. I don't understand. I guess her kids are going to stay there. Leonard says, look, tell you what, this guy's acting crazy.
Yeah.
You've got a lot on your plate, a lot on your mind. He won't leave you alone. My guy here.
I got a creepy friend that drives a truck.
He's going to be driving. Yeah, you
climb in.
Do some long haul. That'll make you feel better. Just do some long haul.
It's the weirdest solution.
Yeah, you can stop at one of those big shitty truck stops. Yeah. No, you'll take a shower in there. Ever wanted to take a shower at the gas station? Well, now you can. Now you can.
You ever seen a shower stall in a Giant?
Oh, it's absolutely lovely. I'll tell you what. Fantastic. And you see people coming out of those new travel. Like, God, how could you?
You see them coming out there and you go, did you shower?
Did you get nude in the...
You don't even appear to be...
Wait, you got nude at the gas station?
You're going to have to do it again, sir. You are still dirty.
Yeah, I got to hose you down when you get outside. Super weird. But I guess to go from Virginia, Ohio, Pennsylvania, it's probably a few-day trip. So this is probably 3-4 days. Yeah. And he probably said, this will get you out of town for 3-4 days. That guy's going up there anyway. Just take a ride. It'll clear your head. You can think. And, he also... Hey, everybody. Just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about a healthy, delicious item, Hero Bread. And we're both trying to get healthier this new year. Jimmy had a eye-opening doctor's appointment and things like that. Yeah. So we're trying to get healthier, and I'm telling you right now, this Hero Bread is a good step in this direction. It's delicious, and it is really good for you, and it's really excellent. They have the sliced bread is good, the bagels, the tortillas. I know you've been
they're terrific.
Ranting about the tortillas. They're so good. With Hero Bread, you can focus on your health goals and still indulge in the soft, fluffy experience you love, but guilt-free. I really love the little Hawaiian rolls, too.
Yeah.
They're so good. They're so good. The Hawaiian rolls, they're legit. They're fluffy. Yeah. They're exactly how you want them to be. You'd never know it's low-carb and high-fiber bread from the texture. You get the soft, fluffy experience you know and love with your savory breakfast sandwich, late-night grilled cheese, Taco Tuesday. Do it. Yeah. No compromises, just flavor, ultra-low net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, high in fiber. It's fantastic. Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use the code SmallTownMurder at checkout. That's SmallTownMurder at HERO.co.
And now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you all sorts of good stuff about Chime. That's what I'm talking about. There's so many extra fees you have to pay in life. Everything. You go to the airline, there's an extra ticket on that. There's extra fee on every fees and fees, hotels, fees, all this type of stuff. We're trying to make progress, and the next thing you know, here comes another fee coming at you, and it's more money than you expected, and your whole math is thrown off, and it's awful. Learn more at chime.com/smalltownmurder. Chime is great with that stuff. I mean, you can't beat if your things are a little tight, especially around the holidays or after the holidays. Yeah. You need that money a couple days early, or you go grocery shopping. You got a car payment due. There's so many things that don't cross over exactly how you want them to cross over. Make progress toward a better financial future with Chime. Open your account in 2 minutes at chime.com/smalltownmurder. That's chime.com/smalltownmurder. feels like progress. Banking services and debit cards provided by Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A., members FDIC. SpotMe eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Boosts are available to eligible Chime members enrolled in SpotMe and are subject to monthly limits. Timing depends on submission of payment file. Fees apply at out-of-network ATMs.
And now back to the show.
This guy won't be able to find you while you're driving through Ohio, which is smart. It's kind of like she's going into the drunkard protection program. Well, I guess they would. That means she would be the drunkard. Right. So she's on a battered woman protection program. She's going into.
It's a pretty sweet program.
They should have.
You're
those.
Gonna see some sites.
They should fucking have those. Honestly,
it's a tour.
Why don't they have that?
A battered woman protection agency?
No, battered woman. They have a witness protection program where they can change your name, put you somewhere else.
That's what they should do is change the name.
Change your name, put you somewhere else under a thing.
Get you a job.
Get you the whole deal. Yeah. Well, I mean, just set up your whole
life.
shit.
Right.
Yeah, if it's somebody who has skills anyway, I don't understand if they're, let's say you have a job doing, you're a manager or something.
Because prisons make money.
I guess so. But
it's fucking horrible. Yeah. For prisons, though, you got to have victims.
Can we have a battered woman relocation program?
It'd be nice.
I would like that.
It'd be real nice.
Kind of sucks that they have to leave.
Right.
But just in case, if it's a situation like this.
Maybe we should just get a shithead relocation program.
Maybe a shithead relocation program. Problem is, though, we have one of those. They have jails to relocate them to, but if they haven't done anything enough,
then they're not shitheads.
And then that's the problem. But we know he's a shithead.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Can we have perceived, possible? We know you're a shithead relocation program. How do you do that?
Every time you fuck up, we put you somewhere new.
Shithead Island. Yeah. That's where it is.
I love that idea.
I love Shithead Island. So, you know what? You know where we can put it? Doesn't have to be an island.
No.
Do Omaha. They're not using it. Just put them there. They're not using it at all.
You take all the shitheads, and then you take dogs. You don't have to put dogs down that have bit people. No. You just put them with the shitheads.
Yeah, there you go.
It's the shitheads and the shithead dogs and the shithead animals that have attacked people. And then when they just put them in there.
Oh, and then when the dogs get old and lose their bodily functions, these guys have to clean up shit for their whole lives. There we go. Now that's going to be something.
Now you got a job.
Oh, that's something. Okay. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rothy's.
Oh, Rothy's.com.
Rothy's.com, the amazing, comfortable, wonderful shoes. It's no surprise that Rothy's has over 1,000 nearly perfect reviews. They're stylish, sustainable, comfortable, washable, really the perfect flats for life on the go, Jimmy.
Yeah.
And we don't know anything about flats for life on the go. These are all shoes for women. They're women's shoes, so we don't have them, obviously, but I'll tell you who loves them. My wife, Sarah, loves them.
Yeah.
Emily, your girlfriend, loves them.
She
They're
does.
phenomenal. When we were walking around last time we went on tour, we had them both with us. They're both wearing the Rothy's walking around. We were like, oh God, this is like an ad right now. But that's how good they are. They're really good. They're wearing them when no one's looking. That's how good they are. They're excellent. Since Rothy's are seamlessly crafted from recycled water bottles, they're ultra comfortable as soon as you slip them on. There's no break-in period. They're just perfectly broken in from the beginning.
Ready to go now.
Ready to go right out of the box. Plus, they're constantly launching new styles, so you're going to find a pair that you like, or maybe 3, or maybe 5. You're going to love these shoes. We'll put it to you that way. Better yet, Rothy's are manufactured in a zero-waste facility, and they ship directly in the box. No unnecessary packaging. Good for the environment. Rothy's always come with free shipping and free returns and exchanges. No risk, no worries, no reason not to try Rothy's. You'll quickly discover why BuzzFeed called them their forever shoes. Check out all the amazing styles available right now at rothys.com/town. Go to rothys.com/town to get your new favorite flats, comfort, style, and sustainability. These are the shoes you've been waiting for, everybody. Go get them. Head to rothys.com/town today.
And now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more from our friends at BetterHelp.
Oh, BetterHelp.com.
That's right. If there's something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals, BetterHelp Online Counseling can help. BetterHelp offers professional counselors who are specialized in issues such as depression, anxiety, relationships, trauma, anger, family conflicts, LGBT matters, grief, self-esteem, and more. Connect with your professional counselor in a safe and private online environment and get help at your own time and at your own pace. Anything you share is, of course, confidential. It's so convenient you can schedule secure or video phone sessions as well as chat and text with your therapist. If for some reason you're not happy with your counselor, you can always request a new one at anytime for absolutely no additional charge as well. Best of all, this is a truly affordable option. Our listeners even get 10% off your first month with the discount code SmallTownMurder. So why not get started today? Just go to betterhelp.com/smalltownmurder. Simply fill out a questionnaire to help them assess your needs and get you matched up with a counselor that you're going to love. That's betterhelp.com/smalltownmurder.
And now back to the show.
So she's going
Get
on
another woman, asshole.
That's it. Bring you 5 more old dogs. This one only has 3 legs. It's really sad to look at. Oh, he's 15. He can barely even, he just drags his lower half. It's so sad. Dude, you'll want to cry every time you look at it. Oh, he can't hold his bladder at all. He just leaves a trail of piss behind him as he drags himself.
That makes you cry, fucker? You hit a woman. Why are you crying? Stop crying.
Stop hitting people, especially women. So he ends up going. She ends up going. I mean, Penny's going on the road trip there. Now, she's there on the road trip for a few days, kind of, out of commission. So that's good. Penny's safe at this very moment. Now, September 21st, the next day, Penny's sister, Linda, she ends up going over to her mom's house in Edinburg about noon on the 21st. So this is the next day. Linda arrives there, and her mother's Teresa, and she arrives there and notices that the screen on the kitchen door is pushed in. And so she's like, that's weird. Yeah. And then she sees that a window pane in the kitchen door has been broken. It's probably one of those doors that has
several of
those. We can just break a little pane.
When the Freddy's hand came through and sucked somebody
exactly.
in.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. One of those. So, one of those has been broken. So Linda enters the house because she doesn't know what's going on here. She yells for her mom, but she doesn't hear an answer. So she walks into the house and walks all around, walks into her mother's bedroom and discovers her mother dead on the floor. She is wearing only a bra. Yeah. Her face is partially covered by a mattress that's been pulled from the bed. Like a mattress got pulled from the bed kind of on top of her head, sort of, there. Her lower dentures were lying on the floor about 4 feet away from her. And, there was a washcloth on the floor, like underneath her leg. I know, things like that. The bedroom was in complete it's
a mess.
It's a mess, tatters, disarray. There's clothes everywhere. There's bed sheets all over the place, comforter and all that kind of shit. Because then the mattress is pulled over. So it's a mess, and her mom is dead. So obviously she calls 911. Yeah. So she went and got lunch. Yeah. Thought about it a little while. So
that's a real weird thing I just saw.
God, that's so strange. I guess I should call someone. I don't know. Should I go to the movies? I mean, she'll still be dead when it's over.
Do I have to bury her? What is the protocol for this?
Oh, man, I'm going to have to do a lot of stuff. Maybe I'll just wait. I'll pretend I didn't find her, and I'll wait till someone else finds her.
Somebody else see that shit.
And then it's their responsibility to clean it up. So she calls the cops, obviously. This has to be a horrible thing.
I can't even imagine
finding your mother like that, and especially in that state of
I don't want to find my mom dead of a heart attack.
That's what I mean. Right. But in this state, it's obviously not a natural state, and there's something happened. Yeah. That's the other thing. The assistant chief medical examiner for Northern Virginia District Medical Examiner's Office. Christ, that's a long title. Our business card has to be a sheet of legal pad paper. Hi, I'm Francis Patricia Field, assistant chief medical examiner for the Northern District Medical Examiner's Office.
Now roll up my business card.
Here you go, and makes a paper airplane out of it and throws it at you. They perform an autopsy, and they find that Penny's mom here had multiple injuries about the head, including abrasions and bruises on the right forehead. So that's to being punched. That's pretty, standard with that, or falling, hitting your head, being pushed. Beside the right eyebrow, on the white part of the eyeball, on the right and left jaw lines, on the neck, on the right cheek, chin, and mouth.
Jesus.
She also had large bruises on her upper chest and lower neck. Basically, from her mid-chest up is a giant bruise.
Somebody's just hitting the shit out of her from the boobs up.
Yeah, just absolutely ragefully. Yeah, this is insane. This is crazy shit here. Her upper lips were bruised. Her inner lips, were bruised. So, like, there was a lot of shots to the face. Yeah. Also, the doctor said that the injuries to her gums and lips were consistent with her dentures having been in place at the time of the assault.
Oh, Jesus.
So they think that a blow knocked the dentures out of her mouth 4 feet. It's like a boxer's mouthpiece, basically, which is horrible and had to really... That's
that shit's
awful.
glued in.
That's what I mean. That takes force to shoot them out of somebody's mouth like that. Also, she sustained 24 fractured ribs. 24 fractures in her ribs.
Wow.
No, I don't think you even have 24 ribs. You might, but
you do.
You do. But 24 fractures to her ribs. Yeah. So it's like she
took a beating.
It's like she got run over by a car 12 times. Is basically what it is. In her bedroom while she had no clothes on.
Right.
The doctor here determined that the cause of death was blunt force trauma to her chest with a rupture of the heart.
Oh God.
So it was so forcefully stomping on the chest that it ruptured her heart.
Her heart tore.
Think about that.
Oh, good Lord.
Think about that. Think
that
about
is fucking beatings
you've seen. People fall. People you never hear.
I never heard of Mike Tyson rupturing somebody's heart.
That's what I mean.
You know
this
what I mean?
is crazy to be that violent on someone that it ruptures their heart is insane.
Granted, Mike Tyson wasn't fighting elderly people.
Luckily, but he wasn't fighting elderly women.
I'll bet he could, though. He
wasn't fighting a 71-year-old woman, because that's how old this woman is.
I imagine it doesn't take much to rupture a 71-year-old's heart.
I don't know. I think it does.
You
still.
think so?
Fuck yeah, it's still your whole skeletal structure.
I mean, it's fragile.
She only had 4, but I mean, she only had 24 fractured ribs, though. She didn't, like, her whole sternum wasn't broken in half.
That's a good point.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, the compression of it had to be intense.
I hate that I want to know.
I know. That's the thing. Yeah, it's awful.
I hate that I have to think about that to know.
That's the other thing here. Jesus Christ. And compression of the neck as well as
like strangling?
Contributing cause of death. Like hitting and breaking and punching.
God.
And and stomping and that sort of thing. There's also a tearing inside the heart there. That's what this was. The rupture causing blood to spill out of the heart into the chest cavity. So she basically drowned in her own blood in her heart. From her heart.
She is a tough woman in the first place to take that.
Yeah.
Who could be so mean to her,
and
why?
That's fucking horrible. They thought that they think that a broken rib probably punctured the heart from all this. The compression of it, though, driven into it, is usually broken ribs puncture lungs, not the heart.
Right.
That's so much force. They said, although direct force applied to the chest in a way that would leave such distinct bruising like this could have also ruptured the heart. So he could have just been literal force to the chest.
Or she.
Or, yeah, that's what I mean. I'm doubting this physical attack is... unless it's,
a barbell.
Unless it's Sally McNeil from Crime and Sports, who, could bench press 400 pounds. I don't know.
I'll bet Mandy Malone could do this.
Mandy Malone could do this, but she wouldn't. That's the thing, because she's a nice lady. So they said bleeding is rapid when the heart's ruptured, obviously. So they said the death probably occurred within 2 or 3 minutes of the heart being ruptured. So that's a beating to sustain and then drowning in your own blood for 2 to 3 minutes. So. Wow, that is horrible. So let's find out where Burns has been.
Yeah.
Maybe. Let's do that. On September 20th, here, this is the day this all happened, before he went, because remember, he shows up at the Funkhausers at midnight.
Right.
Between 10:30 and 11 p.m., he went to his friend's house. He went to a woman named Hazel Buckley's house.
Why is he at a woman's house?
While he was there, he told her he wasn't hitting on her.
Okay.
He gets there and he told her that he, quote, had done something really bad.
At 10:30.
This is at 10:30 at night on the 20th. So he said that he told this person that I'm going to need to account for my whereabouts. I need to say where I was. I need an alibi from about 7:30 tonight to about midnight. I'm going to need an alibi. So I was here. Cool.
Right.
We good with that? I'm here from 10:30 to 11, but as far as you know, I got here at 7:30. I didn't leave till midnight. Okay. Great. Cool. Thank you. Have a good one. So he takes off. Buckley here, once she hears about everything that's going on, she contacts the police and asks to assist in any way that she can, because she's not a monster.
Right.
And, anybody would do this at this point. And they videotape all of that. So she ends up basically arranges a meeting between her and Burns that they end up videotaping later on, to where, he says basically the same thing and tries to, where she's like, when did you say you needed an alibi again? He's like, from 7:30 to midnight, I was here. Okay, cool. So there's establishing.
She videotapes that.
Yeah, the police did. Yeah. They set up a whole thing and had him, did a little sting operation there.
Get him to say some shit out loud.
Yeah. So now back to the murder scene here, back to the scene of the death. Now, Linda, the woman, Penny's sister who found her mom's body, she called 911. The police and everybody arrived, like you would imagine here. Larry Green is the sheriff of Shenandoah County.
Of course he is.
Of course, Larry Green is sheriff, boy. I picked Jackie Gleason and Smokey and the Bandit is all I can think of here. And he decided to set up a, quote, traffic canvassing detail to find out if any drivers had traveled through the area where Teresa's house was between 7 p.m. and 11:30 a.m. on the 20th and the 21st. So between the night of the 20th and the morning of the 21st. The sheriff was moving a flare around the roadway on the right by Penny's mother's house here, and a vehicle approaches him. And the sheriff says that he was, quote, was in the center of the road walking with the flare, and of course that stopped the car, and he approached the driver's side, and it's Burns in the car. Then, okay, this is that night. This is the 20th. This is the 21st. I'm sorry, that night. So Burns stops, and before the sheriff could even say, who are you? What are you doing here? Whatever. Burns asked, what's going on? That's my mother-in-law's house. So he was like right away and everything. And so the sheriff realized that it's his mother-in-law. He asked him, well, shit, can you speak with we're trying to put together something. So if you know her, can you speak with our people and let's try to put something together here? So they said that they would explain what happened to the mother-in-law. He's like, that's my mother-in-law. What happened? So they're going to tell him, oh, she was killed, basically. So then he walks over to a nearby police cruiser, Burns does, and gets into the front seat. You don't just get into the front seat of a cop car unless you're invited. You don't just pop into somebody's cop car. That's a way that's just not okay.
It's a ride along.
Yeah, that's really weird to just walk up to a cop car and just open the seat and pop right in while someone's sitting in there that didn't invite you. Really weird. So it's at this point that this police officer who's in the car informs Burns about the death and all of that. And he actually gives him his Miranda rights at this point and says, I don't know if you're whatever. I don't know anything about it. So before I talk to you about anything, I'm going to read you your rights just to make sure, which is smart. I don't know if you're a suspect or not. If you come out and say, oh, well, I stabbed her in the face. I didn't know if that was anything, or I was just stomping on her, or something like that. It needs to be Mirandized.
So cop also obviously knows that a lot of these times, a huge percentage of them is somebody close to the
absolutely
somebody that knows them,
and somebody that might be inserting themselves. I mean, obviously, a relative might come up to the house and go, "Hey, what's going on?" Also, that also happens all the time. So Burns, though, tells this police officer that he has not been in this woman's house in the last 5 days or even within the last year. Haven't been over there, so don't know what you mean. He says he did drive by her house earlier that day, though. He says between 1 a.m. and 1:30 a.m. the morning of the 21st. So that would be after when he's at the Funkhauser sleeping. That's when that is.
A year that you've never been to your mother-in-law's house?
I don't know how that would be. They don't live in the same town. They live in West Virginia. She lives in Virginia. But you'd still go to your mother-in-law's house at some point, I assume here. Now, he says, though, he just turned around in the driveway and then went to the Funkhauser residence. He said, I just went there, figured she wasn't there, and then turned around and went to the Funkhausers. That's his thing. But he already knew where she was. At the Funkhausers. He had no reason to go there. So, So now he's admitted to being at the crime scene, which is, exactly what they want out of him. So they're like, and that's about the time they think the murder occurred. So they're like, here. They say, why don't, tell you what, just so everyone feels better, why don't you come down to the sheriff's department and get fingerprinted, which there should be plenty on record. He's been arrested how many times?
Wait, you were at the Funkhauser's house. Why? Oh, because your ex-wife, who is your wife.
Yeah, you said, but you went
this lady's daughter.
But just turned around.
You guys were having a fight that night.
Okay.
That's weird.
We're going to get some fingerprints on you. How's that? We should
have a chat.
I mean, the sun wasn't down, so that's in the sun was down, so that's in your favor. That's in your favor, is what we're saying.
You got no energy.
You got no energy, so we're not thinking you did it then. So he says, okay, and he drives his own vehicle to the sheriff's department. He's fingerprinted. While he's there, they again advise him of his Miranda rights. So that's twice in the last hour he's been advised of Miranda rights. While he's there, they question him a little bit. He says that Burns here says he was at a gas station near Teresa Cooley's residence at about 2:52 a.m.
Okay.
So he was there, and again at about 6:35 a.m. he was at this gas station there, both on the morning of the 21st. Why you would go to a gas station twice 4 hours apart in the middle of the night?
That's bananas.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But what he ends up doing is he says he has receipts for the items he purchased at that gas station, because he keeps all the receipts because he's on probation and needs to account for everywhere he goes. So this is how he can build his timeline of where he is. The police also talk with him about a physical evidence recovery kit, and Burns agrees to go to the hospital so that samples of his hair and body fluids could be obtained for the kit. Yeah, I don't want this guy's hair or his body fluids. Well, nothing in this guy's body whatsoever here.
Being that job, oh, you poor bastard.
Time to pluck your pubes.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Not me.
I gotta run this. I gotta run this Q-tip plunger
up your dick.
Yeah.
And after I'm done with that, I'm gonna rip your pubes out
and bend over and cough.
Yay. Yeesh. So they accompany him to the hospital. They take the samples. They talk. Now some time goes by here, and a few days go by. They took samples. They have no evidence or anything like that. They have samples, and they're just waiting. So they got to let him go. They let him go home. This is until September 26th. This goes by.
Days.
So 4 days now, 5 days. Now, Burns talks to the police officer by telephone here, and he agrees to bring the receipts that he had talked about to the sheriff's office that night around 8 p.m. He's like, oh, yeah, sure, I'll bring you those receipts. Because they're like, we're really trying to make sure and, exclude people. So they tell people, we just need to really exclude everybody, so we got to get those receipts so we can exclude you. Yeah. Meanwhile, it doesn't exclude you at all. It puts you closer to the residence. Now you've been there 3 times. You said you were there once, now you've been by there 3 times. So it's worse for him. But so September 26th here, he goes back to the office at 8 p.m. and they give him his Miranda rights again. By the way, you're given this voluntarily, blah, blah, blah. They interview him again. This time, they talk to him for a while. And this is what I don't get. Why would you do this? This time he goes, now that I think about it, I did say that I got there and I turned around and then I went to the gas station twice and all that kind of thing. But thinking back on it, I actually went in the house that night. I was actually there. Now, I'm sorry. I don't know what I was. See, that's the thing.
That's crazy.
It gets crazier.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. You thought it was crazy, but it's about to get much crazier because I was over there. Yeah. And the problem was I didn't want to tell you this before for Penny's feelings. You know what I mean? I went there. And by the time I got in, and I did break into the house now. I broke in. I wanted to get in there. That's a fact. I went. Yeah. Nobody let me in. And I'll tell you why nobody let me in, actually. Because when I had gotten there, what had happened was I went into the house, and I'll be damned if there wasn't a black guy in the house already murdered my mother-in-law. Standing over her body. Just looking at her.
Shut the fuck up.
I swear to God, that's what he said.
Story?
He says he went to the house, broke in, and there was a black man.
Listen, you know what I was gonna go in there, beat the living shit out of her for birthing this bitch of a wife I got. And then, wouldn't you know it, Jamal did me a favor.
That N-word stole my thunder. What the fuck kind of story is that?
Some bitch.
That is like what? There
was an enormous black man just pummeling her.
A black man? No, she was already dead.
Oh, it was already over.
He came in and he said black man just standing over her corpse. Exactly how you found her. Yeah. Bruised up on her face, nude, all that shit. That's how she was, but with him standing over her like, job well done. And so
holy shit, okay. What a story.
What now?
Yeah. Do the cops look at each other and go, that shit?
That's
replay that tape. I swear I didn't hear that right.
When you have somebody saying shit like that, you just really? Wow.
Fuck out of here.
Tell me more.
Holy
I gotta know more. That's fascinating. You want to know more because This is crazy.
That's what I would do. I'd stare him straight in the face and go, fascinating.
Now,
not about his story that he just fucking
trying
said
to pull us off now. Okay, now you've told the police that you've changed your story.
Yeah.
First you went there, turned around, then you went there, turned around and went to the gas station twice. Then you went there, were actually in the house, broke into the house,
right.
But black guy beat you to it. Like, this lady's just besieged by people who want to break into her house and kill her. Like, she's just, damn it.
That's the most amazing story.
I don't know how she lasted 71 years. Think about it. How'd she last this long without being all these people? They're coming over the walls at her. Jesus Christ, man.
I've got kids that do dumb shit, and then I go, you can't do that. And they go, but I didn't. And then they tell me some bullshit story.
Never this fast.
This is amazing.
He told police officers this.
He didn't say it to his dad
now,
to keep from getting
when
yelled
he was
at.
9 and go, fingers crossed. You think I didn't break the lamp? This guy absolutely broke the lamp.
And then he goes,
Imagine that pause where he's sitting there. And they're like, so, you got a description of this man? Black. Just real black. That's all I know.
Exhausted from pummeling an old lady.
And black and just out of breath. And he was wearing big boots.
Oh,
now,
God.
What do you think he said he did next, though? What do you think? I mean, he breaks in, he sees that. What happens then?
Yeah, what do you do?
What do you do? What do you think? What would you... Let's have a prediction, Jimmy.
Did he jerk off, James?
Okay, well, this is what ends up happening. This is what he says. He says that he breaks in, sees this guy standing there. He then killed the black man.
Uh-huh.
He killed him.
Yeah.
Murdered him.
There's no suspect anymore.
He said, I fucking murdered him.
I took care of it.
He said, I killed him.
Yeah.
Obviously. You break into somebody's house to kill him, and he's already killed your killee. You're going to kill that sumbitch, obviously.
I'm here for killing.
Clearly. Yeah.
And it's only me and you.
It's so I'm going to kill somebody. It looks like it's you. So, yeah. So he says he kills this man.
Yep.
And obviously to defend, his blood is nowhere in the house. This man's blood, by the way.
I was just going to ask that.
Nowhere in the house.
How'd he do it?
He bloodlessly and efficiently, like a stealth ninja,
assassin,
killed this man. That's the thing. He said, I didn't want to tell y'all about my assassin past.
I didn't want to tell y'all, but I am a ninja.
I am, in fact, a ninja. I went behind him when he didn't see me, and I did one of those quick neck break things, and I went pa-pang, and his neck snapped and broke.
I showed up,
and he
saw
fell
him
to the ground.
standing over her. I threw the smoke bomb.
Oh, that's what I did. A roll across the floor, and then I cut his head off with a samurai sword. Bloodlessly. That's the art of being a ninja. You can cut that, and no blood comes out. So
when you're real fast, the body internalizes the blood.
That's how it is.
That's
how you know you're a ninja. That's
when
how you know.
When you can finally do it,
when you could do
they
it.
give you your ninja sword.
That's how it went, and a couple of them star thingies you throw. So he says that not only did he kill this man, which he did, he killed this man, but then he disposed of the body as well. He then left his mother-in-law there, didn't call the cops or anything to say my mother-in-law, but left her there, took this man away, and disposed of the body. Why? Why did he dispose of the body? Not to save himself from possible prosecution, because obviously
crazier?
It gets way crazier. Are you kidding me?
Why did he do it?
Wow, it gets Jimmy, buckle the fuck up, because this is funny for a minute, and then it's going to be not so funny. I'll tell you when it's not so funny.
Okay.
So he says that he did this because he felt bad and didn't want his wife to know that her mother was raped and murdered by a black man. Because that would kill her.
Oh, it'd destroy her.
That would kill her.
Not the rape and the murder?
No.
Right.
But that she was raped and murdered by a black man.
Oh, wait a minute.
Okay.
Police officers got to ask right now, how'd you know she was raped?
Okay. Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Well, he was standing over her. He obviously had a sex-crazed,
pantsless 71-year-old.
look in his jungle eyes. You know how it goes with those black men who kill white women and stand over their bodies and wait for you to come kill them. You know how that goes. It happens all the time.
I'm more shocked.
He was standing over her with his jungle lust. I seen it in his eye. It was mixed in with the malaria, but I could see it. What the fuck is wrong with this asshole?
How did I know she was right? His dick was out.
I think this is the most racist thing anybody's ever
this is crazy.
Done here. Yeah. So then he said that he didn't want her to know that. So, okay, buckle up. This is a little explicit for a minute here, but it's so ridiculous and explicit at the same time. I don't even know what emotion to feel about it. He says that in order to make his cover up more, feasible and keep his wife from this terrible knowledge that a black man had done these horrible defilings to her mother. He said in order to do this, he cleaned the woman's vaginal area with soap and water, masturbated. Okay.
Hold on.
Okay. That's what I mean.
He had a makeshift douche and then go on.
And then masturbated.
Yeah.
And then took his finger and inserted it into her.
Wow.
And then smeared it all over the bed.
What the fuck is he talking about?
That's what he said.
That police department silence. Even like the first floor typewriters are like, "Did y'all hear that shit?"
I don't know, but then they said, "Well, that's interesting, but what about this semen we found in the other cavity?"
Oh no!
And he said, well, "I didn't touch her anus." That's what he said. I didn't put it in her anus. That must have been just somebody else came before the black guy, probably. That's all I can imagine.
Maybe I put too much and it drizzled.
Yeah. So at this point, they're all going, tell us more.
Yeah.
So you killed him. So this is his story, is the black man was there. I killed the black man, took him out, disposed of him. I can't take you to his body right now, though, because I don't know where it is.
Right.
They said, well, where's his body? That would have been, and he was like,
busy.
I don't know. I took him, I just dumped him. It was dark. You know how I am about the sunlight. Right. I need the light to really operate.
I was really running down on power.
You know how that goes. So, after all this killing and everything. So he did that, killed this guy, disposed of him, said, oh my God, the dishonor in this. My poor wife can't know that her mother had this done to her by a black man. I got it. This is horrible. It'll be better if she thinks it's me that did it. So let me clean her up, masturbate, and then insert my own jizz into her.
That is horrific.
I don't even know how to. So, and then they were like, so
what do you? And so he's supposed to like stand and go. So no charges,
he
right?
Said,
y'all?
So I'll be seeing y'all later. Those receipts are good because he came in to talk with receipts.
Right.
That was the point. Those receipts, all y'all need now. All right, y'all have a good one. He grabs his keys and what?
I'm a superhero, y'all.
Yeah. So at this point, they're asking him more questions of this in the realm of he's starting to think they don't believe him.
Right.
Weirdly enough.
Yeah.
How could you not believe him?
I've never heard a more what the fuck defense in my life.
This is the craziest. I've never heard a crazier excuse.
How do you start there and end there?
That's what I mean. None of it makes any sense. You can't even. And then the other thing is, if you killed him and you had a body and said, here he is, that would be one thing.
Right.
He has no, I don't know where he is. I just killed him, dumped him, and he could be anywhere. There's no.
He goes.
You know how the black people are around here. They just pop up and disappear, and you know how it is. Y'all get it. You know how it is. Y'all get it. Y'all get it. So at this point, he goes, I don't like the tone y'all are taking.
Are y'all calling me a liar?
Acting like I'm some kind of liar or something here. I'm going to have to, I need to speak to an attorney, I think, at this point. Because y'all are asking a little too personal.
Now he calls for a lawyer.
I'm going to have to talk to an attorney. I don't like the personal questions you're asking me at this point after I just told you all this.
I told you I beat off onto my mother-in-law.
Yeah. After I set up a crime scene like an artist. So he says that they terminate the interview, obviously, because he asked for an attorney. They said, well, if you want an attorney, then we won't talk anymore. And he says, well, he needs to use the bathroom. So he goes and uses the bathroom, comes back, and they said, tell you what, you're under arrest. But let's just not even worry about any more questioning. Let's just lock you up now, you fucking idiot.
Don't worry, we'll get you a lawyer.
It's okay.
You'll
get one eventually.
For the trial.
He'll find you in jail when you're there. So he came to he came there. He's arrested. He has nothing else to do about that. He's just arrested. He says that the police officer told him if he wants to talk to anyone, a lawyer, if you want to talk to us, whoever you want to talk to, inform him, tell the jailer that you need to fucking talk to us, and the jailer will get a hold of us, and we'll come on back here here and talk to you. So the next day, September 27th, the policeman receives a call from the jailer saying this guy wants to talk to you more. Right. So he does. This police officer returns to jail, again informs him of his rights. Yeah. Every time he talks to him, he informs him of his right. What'd you have for lunch today? Just to let you know, you have the right to remain silent and yada, yada. So, he says he asked, did you want to speak with me? And he said yes. And there's a tape transcript and all that. So it's at this point, after he's read his rights and there's a tape recording, Burns says, I got something to tell you.
Oh boy.
I got something to tell you. I feel bad about something. I lied to you. I know this is going to come as a shock to y'all, but there wasn't a black man in the house that night. I know y'all been looking for him left and right, all in the weeds and the woods and bushes, and I just want to tell you, you could call the search off. I didn't kill no black man. There was nobody there. I made that up. They're like, really? Wow. It's been an exhaustive search for this man. So he says, here's what I did. I broke into the house by putting my hand through the screen door, and then I broke the window pane by the door. Obvious there.
We know.
He says, but definitely she was dead when I broke in. That part I wasn't lying about. There was no black man there that I could blame it on, but when I broke in, she was just like you found her there. He said, so he said, based on that, I figured probably Penny did this.
Yeah.
Yeah, her daughter probably came over because that, in his mind, he said, she leaves me. She usually goes to her mom's.
Yep.
And then she went to her mom's, and her mom probably told her, what's wrong with you? Go back to that man.
Back
He's
to your husband.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And so she then beat her to death and raped her. As you do to your mom when you're a daughter.
Her daughter beat her and raped her with my semen,
That's
and
crazy.
she is a vicious.
She smeared it all over the bedspread, man. It's disgusting. Absolutely.
So Penny did this. Is now his.
So Penny did this,
okay.
And he said that he knew that, and he said, I can't. Oh, Penny, she's got kids.
Yeah,
I can't let Penny get in trouble for this. He said, so I needed to lead the police to me away from Penny.
Yeah.
Because I just felt bad for her and everything. So I said, what I did is I then masturbated.
He's going to stick with that part.
He said, I then masturbated, and I took my finger and I put it in her. So it would lead to me. I planted evidence, because I'm smart. Okay?
That's the problem with rape, is that it leaves your fucking name all over it.
Nope. Nope. You masturbated.
He's got to leave that part of the story in it.
Whatever. Someone else but him killed her, and the only way to cover it up is by masturbating all over the place. What the fuck? I'm sorry. I don't even want to laugh because it's horrible. It's ridiculous.
It's the most ridiculous. How does he think anybody's just going to be like,
disrespect.
Yeah, that's plausible.
This is no disrespect to Ms. Cooley, because
horrific.
This poor woman suffered horribly, and honestly, it's no disrespect for her. But Jesus Christ,
idiot.
man, how the fuck are you going to tell a police officer this is what you did? Come on, man. Jesus Christ.
What the? And it's not that he's. It's not even that he's telling anybody this.
Lead to me?
Because I get he's got to have a story.
But this
ain't it.
This ain't it. No.
This ain't the story.
So a forensic scientist here, analyzes everything and said that the presence of semen was in both vaginal and anal swabs from the victim, and based on the results, it's 1.6 million times more likely to have come from Burns than any other randomly chosen Caucasian individual.
Unbelievable.
So him, 100 million more times more likely than him that it's him than a black person. So,
100 million,
and 18 million times more likely that it's Hispanic than it's him than a Hispanic.
Okay.
So it's 100 million times more likely than it's him than his imaginary black guy, which I think is hilarious. It's the farthest away. So
that's how racist he is. He chose.
Yeah. That's how racist Penny must be.
Yeah.
How racist must she? I mean, not to be a dick, but if it
would have broken her heart.
Oh, I mean, maybe she's not really, but he said that she is. Like, look, she don't like black people. Right. So I said, that's maybe he said that. Maybe Penny doesn't give a shit at all. Who knows?
But he's got to paint her out to be a monster.
Yeah, exactly. And also the sperm from the anal swab was even more accurate. It is 500. Burns is 540 million times more likely than a black person to have done this. So it's more him than a black person. So It's him, is what I'm saying. I don't know how if I put that right, the whole deal, the preponderance of it, but it's a lot. It's him. So they also found sperm on the sheet and pillowcase recovered from there. They found, all this type of thing, and they did all the physical evidence on there. The state says, why don't we go ahead and go for the death penalty on this one?
Yeah.
Because he's an asshole, and fuck this guy. So, he's arrested. He's charged with first-degree murder at first, and then he is, after he's indicted by the grand jury of 2 counts of capital murder, then there was another. This is a very complicated legal thing in the beginning that they're going to do some wrangling over.
How do you get 2 out of 1 victim?
Well, they do that all the time, but do
they?
Yeah, it's more of a matter of whether he was indicted on what charge and when he was indicted, because apparently on capital murder you have to be indicted. There has to be a formal indictment, but on first-degree murder, there's a little more murky in terms of how they do the legal shit of it. So this is all very, very legal and probably very, very specific to Virginia as well, because every state is different. So, it's a matter of he says that the Commonwealth's failure to give him a preliminary hearing deprived him of his due process rights, but the hearing, you're just standing there. So I don't know what he was going to get out of that. But they said he wasn't arrested on the charges of capital murder. He's arrested on the charge of first-degree murder. The capital murder charges were brought by direct indictment. So they're saying he doesn't know what he's doing, but they keep at it. He also says the indictment was wrong because he was charged in 1 count with 3 separate offenses of capital murder, and the indictment was confusing and caused a, quote, multiplication of issues. We're going to find out that he's very easily confused, by the way.
Yeah.
And his stories and the fact that he thinks people are going to believe him are going to start to make a lot more sense when we do a psych eval on this guy, because he is not bright. We'll put it that way. Wow.
No.
The
story that he just told is not a
strange.
Red flag for
Very
that?
strange. So the original indictment had 2 counts charging him with the commission of capital murder. The first count that he committed capital murder in the commission of a robbery, and the second count alleged that he committed capital murder in the commission of a rape. So they're both 2 different death penalty statutes, basically, you're getting out of that. Yeah. So he did it in 2 different ways. So that all goes on, and they end up letting it go anyway. It didn't matter if they say, even if it was multiple, you're fine, basically. But it was a big court battle for that. It went on for a long time. Also, he's saying that he wants to suppress evidence. The motion, he has a motion to suppress all of his statements to law enforcement.
Well, fuck yeah.
Because they are terrible. They look real bad.
Those are the worst statements ever.
Any statement that said, I jerked off and then put it on my finger inside of a dead person after they were murdered by another body, that's not going to fly in court. I'm sorry. That's the worst thing you could do.
I manually forced my seed up my mother-in-law
corpse.
After
by the way,
after taking it out manually.
Oh yeah. It's bonkers.
And I just found the body.
Yeah.
So how are you? I don't understand how we could have gotten aroused.
Wow, he is. There's a lot of things. That's one of the things I don't understand.
If you're an innocent man and you didn't do this, how can you get an erection of seeing your mother-in-law
horrified,
in the situation she was in?
Sad, horrified, freaked out. Get 911. Is she okay? You wouldn't be like, well, I better jerk off and I better cover it up. Well, Penny's gonna be sad.
Penny clearly did this. She is gonna be in so much trouble.
This is ridiculous.
I better get this out.
Also, physical evidence, including DNA testing results seized from his person and residence, and all documents obtained from him. He contends also that the roadblock that they set up was unconstitutional, and that his statements were not voluntarily made, thus, violating his Miranda rights. That his fingerprints, hair, and samples of bodily fluids were not voluntarily provided, and that search warrants issued for his personal property at Shenandoah County Jail and his residence were based on misleading information. And no.
He just wants his whole case thrown out.
Yeah, he's like, this is crazy.
You guys, I'm going to lose. Can you not have all of that?
So hold on a minute. All I did was jerk off on my dead mother-in-law and digitally insert it into her. That's all I did. Now, you're saying you're making like a federal case out of this and shit. Like, come on now. It's a felony.
He is better off talking about, wow. I am solar powered, you guys.
Yeah,
There's no way I could have done this.
I shut down. He says that the roadblock there doesn't pass any constitutional, standards because the roadblock was established at the discretion of law enforcement officers, and there's no plan regarding the time and place of the roadblock, and there's no neutral criteria for carrying out a roadblock. That's what they said.
Okay.
They said that, no, the roadblock was to ask people questions. You voluntarily stopped at the roadblock, spoke before they even spoke to you, and then voluntarily walked and jumped in the front seat of a police cruiser. I would say that's as voluntary as you get there. They said there was no, he says that him stopping was a stop and seizure of him. That's what he says. When they're like, but you did it yourself.
You stopped, man.
That's the thing here. So it's not they decide that it's not an unconstitutional infringement to roadblock, that they brought up cases, obviously, to say that. They said he established the roadblock because a brutal homicide had been recently committed in the area of the roadblock and because law enforcement officers did not know the identity of the perpetrator or whether that person was still in the area. Makes sense. The purpose was to canvass drivers who were passing through the area to see whether they had seen anything or heard anything. All very reasonable. Yeah. Dead person, you seen anything, heard anything? No, great, have a good one. It's fine there. And also, Sheriff Green chose the location of the roadblock and directed it that it be conducted between the hours of 7 p.m. until 11 a.m. the next morning on the 21st and 22nd because he believed that the crime had been committed between those hours of there. So we want to see if the people who normally pass by there on their way home from whatever they do, maybe they would have seen something out of the ordinary. Sure. That's actually thinking.
Right.
It's actually pretty fucking smart. I see why he's in charge here. You're the sheriff for a fucking reason. You were thinking. That's smart. He also directed those vehicles to be stopped, and the operators asked if they were through that section during those times, and if they were, did they see anything of a suspicious nature in and around the victim's house? That's it. If the drivers inquired what had happened, they were to be told that an incident had occurred and they were not to receive specific information. That's it there. So they weren't there spreading shit around or anything like that.
They aren't sitting out there saying there's a dead woman with jizz everywhere.
It's everywhere. You know anything about, seen any black guys wandering? He's saying also, Burns here, he's making the argument that with the hair and the samples and the bodily fluids that were taken were he says the kit that he gave all his shit to at the hospital, that he went there voluntarily, he says was not voluntarily, intelligently, or freely given here. They said that the court did not agree with that, and they admitted everything there. He says, this is amazing. He says that he asked several questions about how bodily fluids would be obtained, and they said they said that he didn't understand what they were talking about, and the police officer says that while Burns was waiting at the hospital, Burns stated that his stomach was hurting and that he would have to leave and come back later if the medical personnel did not hurry. So he said that. So he said he knew he could leave and come back, and he just sat there. So he says that Burns went in the examination room, the medical personnel asked him to remove his underwear, and he stated that he did not know his underwear would be taken. And at that point, they said, well, if you don't want to do this, you don't have to. We can stop now. And he said that he wanted to go ahead and get it over with. And then they ended up taking all of his pubes and shit like that, and so it all gets in there. Now also, while awaiting trial, Burns writes several letters to his wife Penny.
Oh boy,
because I'm sure that's who she wants to hear from. They contained just littered with incriminating statements. Obviously,
really,
he's a fucking. What do you think? He's going to be smart about
what
he's an idiot?
Say, see what I've done for you. I've covered up your crimes.
Right. It was now they think it's me. Ha ha ha.
I literally covered it in my jizz.
It was so hard to do it, but I did it. Incriminating statements and differing versions of what happened, like just many different other stories that didn't all in writing. Penny, of course, immediately turned these letters over to the police. Obviously, constantly, they had the letters examined by a handwriting expert to make sure it was him and all that, so they could be admitted into court. And he filed a motion to exclude the letters, saying that it was. He was saying it was protected because it was between him and his wife. But that's not how the law works.
I wasn't talking to y'all.
It's wife can't testify against her husband. It's like that kind of shit. But it's like, no, that's not the law. You have no idea what you're talking about. That's a civil thing, and it's very specific for anything criminal, and you have no idea what you mean. if she wants to testify, she can testify against anybody she fucking wants to. Anybody can. So the trial begins on the second day of trial, during the playing of the audio tape of his statement on the 26th when he was describing the black guy and the disposal of the body and all that. But his counsel moved in the middle of this tape. While this story was going on, while everyone's looking around going, are you fucking hearing this? Well, they're doing exactly what we were doing and what you were doing with your headphones at work going, I wish somebody heard this because this is crazy. Exactly what everyone was doing in court, including his lawyer. His lawyer stood up in the middle of it and said, I'd like to move to have him evaluated for competency to stand trial. Literally. It was like, I don't think... Talking to him and then hearing this, this fucking guy is not right in the head. Am I the only one who thinks this or what? And the judge was like, I think that might be a good, let's do that. So, yeah.
And he's like, what? Y'all think I'm dumb?
That
story is very plausible.
It's a good story. At least it's entertaining if nothing else. It's a good story.
If y'all saw that in the movie, you'd be like, oh, this was worth the price of admission.
I'm a writer, see. Also, his counsel said that Burns here had told him that he didn't want to participate anymore and he wanted to just leave the courtroom and go to jail. Mm-hmm. So he's like, I can't do anything with it. He's telling them crazy stories. He doesn't even want to be here. Like, I'm supposed to fucking defend this guy? What are you talking about? So, the court questioned Burns about his wish to leave the courtroom, and he said that he did not want to remain in the courtroom, even though the court advised him about the importance of him being there. One of those things. The jury's not going to like it if you're like not even here.
Right.
It's one of those deals.
It's going to look bad too.
Yeah.
It's going to look as bad as that story of yours.
Yeah. Court then decided to take a recess for about an hour and 20 minutes. After the recess, Burns did return to the court, and his counsel said that Burns has changed his mind. He now has a willingness to remain in the courtroom throughout the proceedings, but he is the problem was that Burns wanted to leave because he said he was having trouble understanding what was happening, and he was frustrated, and that's why he wanted to leave, because he didn't know what was going on, and he didn't understand anything that was happening.
Oh, Billy.
Oh, boy.
I can tell you what's happening.
It's at this point where his lawyer again moves, can we please just have him looked at, for the love of God? Jesus, take this fucking just cretin off this drooling, mumbling, stuttering cretin off my hands. I can't take it anymore. Not that stuttering's bad.
Did you hear his fucking story?
Yeah.
He's clearly an idiot.
It's Jesus, please. So the counsel here quoted from a doctor's report from June 10th, 1999, while he was in jail, that stated that Burns' quote, capacity to assist in his own defense is marginally intact. Like, he's fucking borderline. He's borderline. Like, I can't have this. Please get him checked out. So the court then called the jail nurse to testify as a witness before they made a decision here. And this nurse, Bonnie Sager, she explained that the medications that had been described to treat Burns' anxiety and depression and help him sleep. And she stated that she'd given Burns his medicine at noon that day, and that the jail record showed that Burns had been receiving his medications. And so then she also described Burns, as having occasional mood changes when he became angry. That's weird. Your mood changes when you become angry. Super weird, right?
Occasionally.
As a human? Weird.
From time to time, they're worse?
I think you can take any human and to say occasional mood changes when they become angry.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty fair.
Everybody.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's called human nature.
So then the court denied the motion to do that, and did make the following relevant findings. On June 23rd, 1999, a doctor determined Burns' competency had been restored based on the medication he'd been given and shit like that. Basically, like, he was a little wacky when we got him, but now he's doing fine. Another administered an intellectual test to Burns. The results showed he had a verbal of 73, verbal IQ of 73.
No.
And so that's Forrest Gump level.
That's not good at all.
That's Gump level.
Yeah.
And a performance IQ of 86.
Okay.
Making his full scale IQ 77.
I got a big problem with this.
77 is very low.
Yeah.
That's literally...
He's a functioning idiot.
It's Forrest Gump is what we're talking about.
Right.
Here. It's very much...
Oh boy.
He's not very smart here. Now, psychologists from Central State agreed that he suffered from depression and needed medication, but she also found during the course of the treatment that she thought he was malingering and making this shit up, and also that he was acting crazy, not dumb, and acting for a period of time. He said there's letters from him, at least one letter where he admits to acting. He says where he wrote in his wife that he was putting on a show, acting like he was crazy, not stupid. He thinks he's smart. smart.
Right.
That's the thing. That's how you can tell someone who's really stupid or crazy.
Right, because he thinks that story's fucking believable.
Yeah, he might be stupid because he thinks he's smart.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't think he's crazy because he's acting. But he's not acting stupid.
He's still an idiot.
In his mind, he's like, I'm so smart, I'm going to trick them all. That's what he's thinking. So, yeah. Also, the doctor appointed to his mental health expert, and they had given he'd given notice that he wasn't going to use him, Burns, the mental health expert. So they said that he already said he wasn't going to do that. They said he had prescribed medication. In order for him to be competent and stand trial, he must be given medication. This is what the doctor wrote in the report, as needed and prescribed. We have evidence from the jail nurse that he's being fully furnished all of his medications. They said his conduct in trial until that morning, until his statement there, was alert and attentive. He saw him, the doctor saw him numerous times talking with counsel. Certainly he took notes at other times. During the course of the trial, he has taken notes and interacted with counsel, all the things I would expect him to do as a defendant in this case. They said he did get visibly upset as his statement was being played, and there could be, they said that could be from anything. Yeah. That could be that he's mad at himself, that he knows he's an idiot, that all sorts of different shit. It also may be that hearing it today, he perceives it as being harmful to his case, and it could be depressing to anybody for that. So it's normal for him to get upset. So they're basically saying, look, I don't think he's crazy. He's just a little dumb. Yeah. That's basically what it is. Many of they talk about the letters here that he wrote, and he said, the letters here to the psychiatrist, and he's making them part of the record. Many of the letters were challenging officers' statements as to what he told them and how he was treated, which are the exact statements that were being played there today. He was saying that they were lying about it, and then the statements were exactly what he said. Right. Because, it was on, they transpired it. Jesus Christ.
Transcribed.
God damn it. They transcribed it right from the tape.
Yeah.
So he said also, there's a number of things in the letters, but they said it would indicate that he did indeed understand the proceedings against him, and he understood how important his own statements may be in the case against him. So he says that so basically they let him go. So during the closing argument of this penalty phase here, the Commonwealth, the Virginia attorney here, state's attorney, argued that this poor woman he killed, Cooley, was, quote, a modest private person who had an animal enter her life. Now, at that point, Burns's counsel objected and said this, quote, excuse me, and he objected. So then the prosecutor said, excuse me, a person acting like an animal, excuse me. And so the judge said, all right. And then he said, a person acting with depravity of mind. And then the other, Burns' attorney said, I have a motion, and I'll make a motion after he finishes. Note my objection. They go through all this. And then finally the prosecutor says, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, I don't mean to characterize him as an animal, but I will characterize him as a human being with the depravity of a depravity of mind, a person who acted in a vile, horrible, inhumane way to an innocent person. Makes sense. Mm-hmm. They were very, very much going again. Later on, he's going to appeal based on the fact that he was called an animal in the closing statement, which I think is much less relevant.
They could have said way worse, man.
It's much less. Yeah. After what you did,
I mean,
way worse.
Yeah.
Animal is good.
You know what? And yeah, he did it because this is he's convicted, obviously.
Yeah. He's found guilty, obviously.
Right.
Duh. You'd have to be whatever.
You'd have to be the IQ of his.
Yeah. They do find him not guilty of forcible sodomy, meaning fellatio.
Oh.
So they said he didn't put it in her mouth, apparently, or he didn't. So that's what they're saying there.
Oh, boy.
Wow,
Victory.
You're a real fucking prince. What a charmer.
I'm not an animal.
All class.
I didn't fuck her face.
All class.
Piece of shit.
Wow. At the penalty phase now, this is for the death penalty. This is for all the marbles, everybody. Yeah. The Commonwealth presents evidence with regard to his issue of future dangerousness. To establish this, they introduce his prior convictions for felony theft, breaking and entering, everything in broad daylight, malicious destruction of property, resisting arrest, battery, assault, disorderly conduct, and third-degree sexual offense. We talked about all those.
Yep.
In addition here, Hazel Buckley, the woman he went and saw that night.
Try to get cover for him.
That's his ex-girlfriend.
What?
And his ex-girlfriend is now testifying against him.
Okay.
Says that Burns, over the course of a 2-week period one time, had anally raped her 9 times.
Oh, my God.
In 2 weeks. 9 times. In a 2-week period.
That's like once every day almost.
That's horrific.
That is insanity.
Horrific.
That poor woman.
This woman also stated that she did not report those incidents because Burns had threatened her and her daughter.
Yeah, of course
so
he did.
This doesn't look good
Yeah.
when you've done the same shit and now you've killed a woman doing the same shit, and now these a bunch of 12 people can go kill that motherfucker and they will.
Yeah.
So not great.
This
looks
right
real
here,
bad.
That right there is why he was able to do what he did.
Absolutely,
To
it's
that
an
woman.
escalation,
You
man.
didn't-
You have
the
to
first
grow.
time. Good
No,
Lord.
that's what I mean. It has to grow. It has to grow. He offered evidence of mitigation here. Members of his family testified about abuse he suffered as a child. Said his father was an alcoholic and used to abuse him, and that he did not do well in school. So, I mean, good Lord.
Guess who else, sir?
Yeah, I mean, sorry. An inmate testified that Burns is a really good guy. Around jail, he's been a peacemaker around there. He says a shift supervisor at the Shenandoah County Jail also testified that Burns was respectful and had never become violent during his incarceration there. Oh, well, let's give him a medal, and, maybe he can be like a mayor of a small town. And no.
Also, good. He does great there. Let's keep him there.
He can lead the old-timey day parade. Let's go. No, sorry.
On cell block C, don't get the fuck out.
He
thrives in prison. Keep
he
him
loves
there.
it. Great. You, sir, may fuck off. Death penalty for you. No, you're done, mister.
Shit.
You're done. Now, he appeals, obviously, because you have to, and he appeals with a few different things that we'll go through quickly. We're not going to spend an exhaustive amount of time on the appeals process because it goes on forever.
Yeah.
First of all, there's... basically they talk about different. He talks about he claims that the problem of police concealed exculpatory evidence is pervasive. He's basically saying that the cops are holding exculpatory evidence. Not even the prosecution, but the police themselves weren't giving all of their shit to the prosecution. He
is
says
there proof that says he did not do it?
No, there's none of that.
Then let's move forward.
There's no. Nothing like that.
What evidence did they hold that said he did not rape, beat, and spread his jizz all over the place?
If he didn't do the first part, but if he just showed up, literally saw a dead body and was like, I better jizz on it and put my face, it's almost worse.
That's enough.
It's almost
it's
just as
guy.
bad.
Yeah.
I want that guy just as dead as the guy who killed the woman first.
Right.
So, he says that, he goes through all this shit about the police investigators and whether they were under oath at the right times. So it's very technical. Also, jury selection. He claims that the court erred by precluding him from asking questions to the jurors about their true feelings about the death penalty. He kept using the words true feelings. And he says during one of these jurors here, his counsel asked whether any of them had any particularly strong feelings for or against the death penalty, and the court sustained an objection to the question because it wasn't asked in a response to a juror's specific answer to a previous question, which is the only time you can ask that. It's so complicated, this death penalty shit. It's so ridiculous. Wait till we get into it more. He also challenges the whole process is crazy. The court's decision to strike a juror for cause here. I guess the juror, she was improperly struck, he says, because she expressed some doubt about the death penalty, and this, which is fine.
The death penalty questions that they ask them are stupid because of this. If you ask me, are you for or against the death penalty? I say, I don't know, case by case. Then they go, there's an old lady beaten to death horrifically, heart tore, and she was raped. What do you think about the person that did that? Fucking got him for sure?
Yeah,
let's kill him.
Let's kill him. But the problem is, and we'll find out why it doesn't really work out like that, and why it's so like just why the whole thing just it's not a process that can be streamlined and done.
Damn it.
Done well. That's the problem here. Whether we want to kill these people or not, we can want to drag them all behind a truck. But
I'm just saying, you ask me as a juror, and that's
just
a
human logical question you're answering. But you're not getting into the legalities and costs and all that and the actual problem of it. And neither of us are. We're not trying to get into that right now, as we never have.
Why bring that up on appeal? Because my opinion of the death penalty is going to change when you give me all that fucking evidence.
That's the other thing you're going to have here. That's true too. And he also asserts that the trial court erred in admitting evidence of certain photographs of the victim's body. And they always do this, and it never works. They always say, nope, they'll put in whatever the hell they want. They need to set up the crime scene. They need to show everything. Also, testimony about his probation status and prior acts of violence. He's like, this is ridiculous. He objected to the statement. I guess his
I mean, you punch people for 20 years and then they think, fuck, he probably killing old woman.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now, in the guilt phase, the references to his probation status with his receipts and everything brought all that shit up anyway, so it didn't matter. He objected also. He's objecting to the statement made by Buckley. Buckley, his ex-girlfriend, who he raped 9 times in 2 weeks. Yeah. She said that he had done something, quote, worse than his drug runs, and it was worse than anything he had ever done. That's what she testified to, and he's saying that he never said that. That's what he's saying there. Okay. That's false. He said his comment to Buckley reflects his awareness of the seriousness of his crime. Not only does it make him guilty, but it also says that he understands what the hell he's talking about. Yeah. He understands the seriousness of everything. Right. He also argues the court erred in allowing into evidence his wife's testimony concerning prior episodes of violence and threatening conduct and his tendency to become sexually aggressive when he consumed alcohol. However, the court allowed that always in there. The court allowed the evidence only for the purpose of showing why Penny left her residence on September 20th. All of it's relevant there. Also, the jury heard the court's ruling in open court, and Burns did not request the court to give a jury a more explicit cautionary instruction. So they're saying, he said that they find no error in the court's admission of this testimony. Its probative value to explain why she left makes sense. Also, now he tries to do the marital communications thing, which is fucking hilarious. And it says, quote, this is the goddamn law, quote, husband and wife shall be competent witnesses to testify for or against each other in all civil actions, provided that neither husband nor wife shall, without the consent of the other, be examined in any action as to any communication privately made by one to the other while married, nor shall either be permitted without such consent to reveal in testimony after the marriage relation ceases any such communications made while the marriage subsisted. He says that means that she can't say shit about those letters, and he was in prison. It's admissible.
They can take whatever they want.
They'll take whatever they want, and they do. He also says that he against the passion, prejudice, and proportionality. He says that they fired the jury up so much in passion with this lady that, of course, they were going to give him the death penalty. They called him an animal, for God's sake. And they said also that he said that the jury's decision will, quote, send a message, which is another thing. Like, they called him an animal, and they're trying to use him to send a message to all the other killers, and that's whatever. Also, the big one, his competency. His goddamn competency. He argues that it's disproportionate because of his borderline range of intellectual functioning, the physical and sexual abuse he suffered as a child, and his incompetence to stand trial at one time. He continued to need medications during his trial for symptoms of anxiety and depression. He does, though, they say, fail to address the fact that he entered the home of his elderly mother-in-law, raped and sodomized her, and killed her by breaking her ribs in 24 places and rupturing her heart. He also wants the court to ignore his lengthy criminal record and his repeated attacks on Buckley. That's what the appeals court says. So basically, he wants us to think he's a nice guy and he's all stressed out and everything, but he's perfectly fine raping and sodomizing and beating people. So also, finally, we've approved the imposition of the death penalty for a defendant with significantly lower IQ than Burns. That's disturbing. Significantly lower than him, they've approved the death penalty for.
Wow.
I'm sorry, if your IQ is 62, I don't care how horrible of a crime you did, you're an idiot. And we shouldn't kill you for it. You're too stupid to know what you're doing.
We should lock you up for fucking ever.
Fuck yeah.
Because you don't understand you don't understand the difference between right and wrong. And that person can't be on the fucking street.
In the appeal of Atkins versus the Commonwealth of Virginia, a defendant had an IQ of 59, and they killed him. 59.
Fucking real.
Whoa, that is way too low here. So they said, based on a review of similar cases, Tercy, I called her Teresa earlier twice. It's Tercy Elizabeth Cooley. I am so sorry I called her Teresa, even though I knew it was Tercy.
That's the
wife? The mother. That's the murder. That's the victim. Her name is Tercy Elizabeth Cooley, and I called her Teresa Elizabeth Cooley earlier. Tercy is not an average name. I apologize.
We're beyond it.
It's fine now. Sorry. So, it's shit. Feel bad. So they said, based on similar cases, go fuck yourself. So from 2005 to 2015, the Virginia Supreme Court ruled that Burns had presented sufficient evidence of intellectual disability to warrant a trial on that issue. So a separate hearing on this now. However, Burns exhibited continuing signs of severe mental illness, and a court-appointed mental health expert determined that he was actively psychotic, spawning more, and after all this, they fought about this from 2005, 2002, all the way up to 2015. For 10 years, they fought back and forth about his competency to stand trial, whether he's too stupid, all of this shit. 2015, he is returned. Basically, he was in Central State Hospital. He's returned to Marion Correctional Treatment Center as a result of worries by the corrections officials that he was trying to escape. They said that they granted this whole deal. They said Burns had been faking chest pains that led on more than one occasion to transfer to a hospital. So they think he was setting up some kind of going a few times to see what the routine was so he could escape, basically. So they transferred him back there. This would allow him. He has to be transferred to participate in a hearing in his intellectual disability cases as well. So he's a very busy guy.
He really is
in jail here. Assistant Attorney General here also filed a motion asking the courts here to restore Burns's competency to be shifted back to, basically, he said, can we have it in the hospital? Can we have his hearing? Yeah. We want to say that he's competent and get this over with, basically. But anyway, they ended up not doing that. The facility wasn't designed that way. They said Central State is not a facility that's designed to run as a secure prison environment. So they said, if you want to have a crazy unsecure prisoner here, you can't do that, basically. Not happening. So he's waiting to be executed, and as he's waiting, on December 29th, 2017, Governor Terry McAuliffe, the governor of Virginia, says in a statement that Burns, quote, has long suffered from severe mental illness and is not likely to be restored to competence, and that, quote, he has not showed signs of stabilizing while in custody. He said there is no doubt that Mr. Burns committed an unimaginably heinous crime. He will not evade punishment. He will be incarcerated for the remainder of his life. They commute his sentence to life. Commuting Mr. Burns' sentence to life without possibility of parole brings finality to these legal proceedings. It assures the victim's family that Mr. Burns will never again enjoy freedom, but without the torment of post-trial litigation. And it all allows the Commonwealth to devote its resources toward other cases. In my view, this is the only just and reasonable course. Basically, the way they do this, they talk about this whole thing. They said that they could. In 2002, this is after he's sentenced in 2001 to death. In 2002, the Supreme Court ruled 6-3 in that Atkins versus Virginia case of the 59 IQ that executing people with intellectual disabilities violates the Eighth Amendment's, cruel and unusual punishment. Yeah. So the Supreme Court of Virginia subsequently held that Burns's claim of intellectual disability was not frivolous, and that's how it kept getting sent back because that case was challenged, and it makes precedent. So during those proceedings, Mr. Burns again showed signs of severe mental illness. The Supreme Court ruled that Burns had a constitutional right to be competent for adjudication for his intellectual disability claims. Yeah. So they said, for you to even go to a hearing about your disability, you have to be competent to do that. Yeah. Otherwise, you won't know what's going on. So basically, the governor said this whole thing has been a fucking mess, basically, and there's no point in doing this for another 15 years and costing a shitload of money there. Now, somebody who's running for governor next says that, quote, he tweeted, I should say, didn't say, he tweeted, the malingering William Burns escapes justice for his horrific crimes, and tried to make it a political thing rather than the fact that it's just silly. So he says, it's
an idiot, man. You're gonna die on that hill.
That's
really?
The thing. And I'll tell you how much it costs too, and you're gonna go, holy shit, considering Virginia, I'm sure they could use the money in other places. The governor continued to say, I have determined that the continued pursuit of execution of Mr. Burns is no longer in the best interests of the Commonwealth. As for now, there's no lawful way to impose the death sentence on Mr. Burns, and there's no clear path for that ever being possible. To do so would require returning Mr. Burns to competency, which experts believe is unlikely to occur. So He said, as governor, it's my responsibility to ensure the Commonwealth carries out the death penalty in accordance with the requirements of the Constitution, which forbids cruel and unusual punishment. And he talks about his intellectual capacities and all that sort of thing. He also noted that Virginia has spent more than $350,000 in treating, transferring, monitoring, and litigating just whether he has the mental capacity to conduct a trial on whether he has the intellectual capacity to be executed.
Wow.
Not for the trial,
wow.
Not for everything else.
That shit costs more.
That's way more.
Yeah.
Not to actually get him executed.
$350,000 to find out if he's not an idiot.
Just to find out if he's not to find out if he's not an idiot. To find out if he's not an idiot enough just to have a hearing to find out if he's an idiot. That's how much they've spent. They didn't even spend $350,000 to have a hearing to find out if he's an idiot, just to try to find out if he could have a hearing. So imagine if they did have a hearing, it's going to be another $1 million.
In the end, for you, Commonwealth.
Yeah,
he's an idiot.
In the end, the state's in for $5 million for this fucking idiot. Yeah. Put him in jail. Who cares? And people go, well, it costs $35,000 a year to house him. I don't care.
Who cares?
Not this much. This is crazy. It's so much. So, and that's addition to what it costs to actually keep him there.
Right.
And so, so he's life without parole.
Okay.
He's done. Please, one thing, don't take it out on a man. There's
so many.
The complete opposite man named William Joseph Burns, who comes up when you Google this guy like crazy. William Joseph Burns, the former Foreign Service officer. He was the ambassador of the United States to the Russian Federation from 2005 to 2008, Under Secretary of State for Political Affairs from 2008 to 2011, and United States Deputy Secretary of State from 2011 to 2014. That's a really important job.
My God.
Super important. And also now he is currently president of the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace. So, he went to Oxford.
He's a genius.
He went to Oxford and he speaks Arabic, French, Russian, and English. Don't take it out on him.
Probably did not ever smear jizz on dead people.
I sure hope not. No. Could you get a more opposite man than that to that? So, that's Small Town Murder.
Wow.
Sorry, Tercy Elizabeth Cooley, not Teresa. Jesus, that's so horrible, and I apologize for that with everything that I have.
I think we've done it.
But, I don't even know what to say about that story. That was one of the... As I was reading the story, I'm like, this is just the whole revenge factor with the mother-in-law. I found that interesting enough. And then once I got to his story, I was like, are you kidding me? We have to do this episode.
Yeah, the story alone is crazy. And then his story is way
next level.
What?
It really takes it up a couple of notches here.
Sure, sir.
Holy shit. So with that said, I thank you so much for checking that out. If you liked it, I know how you can tell us.
Yeah.
Go to iTunes, our Apple Podcast, the purple icon, and let us know how you feel. Give us 5 stars. Doesn't matter what you say. Say you're following instructions or following directions. We don't matter. It doesn't matter. We don't matter, and we don't care. I couldn't decide between we don't care and it doesn't matter.
We don't care.
It doesn't care.
We don't matter.
It don't care and we don't matter. So fuck it. Give us a review. Beyond that, go over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Go get all of your needs. Listen to Crime and Sports as well. Crazy stuff going on there. Dennis Rodman this week. So check that out. Very little very little sports and lots of crime. Check out everything there. All your items, t-shirts and cups and mugs, your wares, your dry goods. You get it all there. I don't think there's any wet goods, so they're all dry.
I think it's all wet goods.
Oh, man.
Isn't a towel a wet goods?
I think it's dry. So, get all your stuff there. Most of all, get tickets to live shows. We have lots of them. Next week, we're in San Diego and LA. San Diego is sold out, I believe, but LA, I think there is a few more tickets left. You can probably get those. If you're in San Diego, drive up to LA. We're going to be doing it.
Yeah.
Drive right up with us. Well, not in the same car, but we can do a caravan. We'll all go up there. So, do that. Get down there. See us. Lots of live shows coming up. We're in the Carolinas in September. Atlanta. We're in Raleigh, then Charlotte, then Atlanta.
Yep.
We are in Missouri. Those are sold out. Then we have Pittsburgh, which is sold out. But Philly and D.C., tickets for those. Come out and see us there. I think Milwaukee's done now. That's sold out. Dallas, there's a couple tickets left in Houston. Few, but not a lot. And then, what else is there?
Chicago.
A few in Chicago, none in Milwaukee. Chicago's, watch out. That's a big venue, but it's almost sold out. That's going to sell out well ahead of time. So don't wait till the last minute on those.
So that's
we
what's
want to
happening.
see you. Come see us. Come see
hang
us
out with us
out there, and come hang out with us. We put on a hell of a show. I'll say that for us. You know me. We are self-deprecating as shit. You know Jimmy and myself. We're never going to brag. We put on a hell of a fucking live show.
It's a lot of goddamn fun.
We want you to walk out. The biggest nightmare for us would be to walk out, any one person to walk out and go, that wasn't worth my money. I want them to go out and go, man, I got twice as much show as I paid for. Fucking A. And we don't mean in length, we mean in enjoyment. Because the live shows are actually a little shorter than the live shows are about an hour 45.
If you want to give us $1, we want to earn $2.
That's the thing. We want you to go, fuck, I wish I had $5 to give them, because that $1, I feel like I'm cheating them. That's what we want. So do that. Come out and see us and be that sort of awesome person. Follow us on social media. Very easy to do that. At Murder Small on Twitter, Small Town Pod on Facebook, and at Small Town Murder on Instagram. You can also be a hero of ours, and I mean a fucking hero, by being one of our producers.
Such great people.
They're the best people. They're amazing, and you can do that so easily. Be one of our heroes that keeps this damn show rolling along and keeps us alive and fed and with electricity. You can do that by going to patreon.com/CrimeInSports, or head over to PayPal. That's the word I'm looking for. And Jesus, I'm having a stroke over here.
Don't worry, I'm about to.
Oh, thank you. Have a go over to PayPal. Use our email address, which is crimeinsports@gmail.com, and you can make a one-time donation there. Can't tell you how appreciative we are of every cent that we get, and we're going to tell you exactly how appreciative we are. Jimmy, tell me a story of people that aren't lying about rapes and people of different races killing your mother-in-law. Hit me with it, Jimmy.
This week's executive producers are Samantha Bird, Keisha Newton, Lisa Bradley, Nancy Minster, Clay Thorson, who sent us also an unbelievable wooden board in the shape
he
of
sent
Kentucky.
that? Yes.
That was
dude,
from
that's
him.
amazing.
Clay, thank you
with
so much.
With the license plates,
Yeah.
everyone that sees that's like, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Pretty
it's
fucking
so
rad.
cool. Thank you,
Clay. Amy Spicer, Chrissy Ann Castaldi checked back in. She's
how you doing,
she's
Chrissy
doing
Ann Castaldi?
fantastic.
Nice to hear
Thank
from
you,
again.
Chrissy. Kyle Priest, Shannon Russell, and Stephanie Russell. William Kidd, or Bill Kidd, he donated twice, actually. Both ways.
Kid.
Thank you, Bill. Actually, Bill...
Hey, he gave it to us both ways.
Bill wanted to say that Alice is a fat bitch, and I don't know who she is.
I don't know who she is.
I hope that didn't hurt her feelings.
I hope she's
right
probably
now.
like 110 pounds and his sister
and he's just
or
being a
something.
dick.
Yeah, and it's like his sister that he jokes
pray
around.
to Christ. Andrew Murphy, Rhonda Allred, and Rosie O'Neill. Thank you all so much. Other producers this week are Thomas Smith, Danielle Majka, Robin Anderson, Ashley Robelia, Nathan Little, Jeremy Duran or Doran, Michelle Johnson, Pierce DeCourcy, Thomas Deaton, Jude Kendall, Mark Foster, Suzanne Mandel, Mandel, I think it's Mandel, Jake Hooker, Nathan Nolte, Ali Benson, Keith Nevron, Nevra. Neura, N-E-U, that's what that is, Neuro.
Well, thank you.
Or God damn it. Kelly Thirsk, Ariel Mead, Colorado Dragonfly, again with the, I don't know, that's, I didn't do any research to find out what it is. Kelly Higbee, Carol Ann Webb, Jesse Hartman, Jesse Weinstein, Mitch Randall, Allegina Huber, Rebecca Weaver, Melissa Lander, Brendan Abels, Larry Butterfast, Michael Gerard, Garand, that's it. Margaret Cowan, Kenneth Turner, Jessica Raboon. I don't know. I can't read it. Reagan Shalkley, Jackie Sukup, Saukup. I got this right last time, and I don't remember now. Alex McCraig.
You're doing fine, Jimmy.
Adam Udaney, Krista Walker, Michael Santoro, Liz Vasquez. Thank you very much,
Thanks, Liz.
Appreciate you. Crystal Bunt, Peyton Meadows, Bug, B-U-G, Rachel, Andrew Patterson, Ashley Vio, Amy Hines, James Martyr, Lindsay Haley, Lauren Euler, Megan Guza, Penway. What is that? Penay? Don't smout? Penne smout? Penry? I think it's Damn it. Allison Wisniewski, Steve Schnell, Stephen Rude, Tannen Schwartzstein, Wendy McGath donated both ways. Thank you very much, Wendy. William Northcutt, Caitlin Cipriano, Fun Mileo Ibadoe. That's wrong.
Wow.
Anthony Canella.
Thank you.
Pamela Sloan. That's the original Pamela. Gary Howard.
Pamela.
Sally Norris. Hannah Carr Murphy. Kimberly and 31 bags, or Kimberly's 31 bags.
Okay.
I don't know what it is, but thank you, Kimberly. Chelsea Morgan, Megan Kelly, not that Megan Kelly, but a Megan Kelly. Justin Miller, Craig Ventura, Beth Charlton, Lauren Demarath, Kira Bai, Cindy with no last name, Jordan Bennett, and her Simon. She said that this road is really difficult without him. So thank you. Yeah. I don't know. I did my best with that.
Good job, Jimmy.
Ronnie Kumar. And then the rest of them. Home stretch. Ruth Ann Sandberg, Tim Brown, Grace Brunias, Linda Payne, Elwin Chow, Sheldon Murphy, Darnell Campion, Rob Swanson, Tanya Hall, Lana with no last name, Keon Butler, Malavia Prosecco, I think. Proceed.
Hey, there we go.
Proceed. I think that's right. Eric Federonich from Daniel Parks. I think that's right. Or was it Keon? Eric Fedorovich. That's one.
You're the man.
Josephine Ogenshi, Aaron Baker, Christopher Ruchon, Brian Boucher, Monica Garcia, Megan Phillips, Esme Squires, Kenzie Hirth, Rebecca Manners, Lisa Bradley, Keely Haig, AJ Kozlowski, Veronica Fields, Marty Emmerich, Kevin Howard, April Udy, Talon Ellis. It was his birthday, and he lost his battle to depression, and that fucking sucks to have to say out loud. But
it's terrible.
Thank you very much, guys, for donating in his name. Fred Cruz, Krista Zachman, Cindy Ursino, Carrie Lippert, Santiago Quinones, Tara Monzo Stratman. That's right. Penny Keir, Carrie Lippert, I said that, Beth Fink, Janine Hughes, Camille Whitlow, Christy Corbeil, Jack Shea, Danielle Bucheman, Daniel Bucheman, sorry, bro, Chris Lee, Austin, Jody Budzilo, and then Kenzie's parents, Maureen and Tony, are celebrating 25 years of marriage. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much, as well as all of our Patreon supporters. You guys
definitely
you guys make this possible, so thank you.
We can't thank you enough, honestly. We really, really appreciate every goddamn thing you do for us, and we try to bring you craziness every single week to try to, offset that. So
that goes for the donations, too.
Everything, man.
This show that we put on, again, if you want to give us $1, we want to earn $2.
That's it. That's always our thing.
We always want to give you more than you pay for, so thank you guys so much for taking care of us.
Appreciate the hell out of you. What if somebody wanted to find you and tell you that they appreciate you, Jimmy?
You can find me at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Whatever you send it, whether it's a thank you or just words that you need help with your week, whatever it is. Thank you so much, and I look forward to hearing from you. Where can they find you?
You can find me at Jimmy P is Funny, or just copy and paste my last name from the show description, because you're not going to spell it correctly, and do it that way. Let's do that, and we'll find each other. It'll be wonderful. How's that sound? Good to you, Jimmy? Good. If that sounds wonderful, then we are going to call it a week.
Yes.
And we cannot wait till next week and next week and next week and next week. And we'll see everybody next week in California, but there's a show between now and then.
Yeah.
Either way, it doesn't matter, everybody. Until next week, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
Rothy's are stylish, sustainable, comfortable, and washable, the perfect flats for life on the go. And since they're seamlessly crafted from recycled water bottles, they're ultra comfortable as soon as you slip them on. You'll quickly discover why BuzzFeed calls them their forever shoes. Check out all the amazing styles right now at rothys.com/town. Go to rothys.com/town to get your new favorite flats, comfort, style, and sustainability. These are the shoes you've been waiting for. Head to rothys.com/town today. If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.